Podcast. This week brought to you by... I'm Gus.
I'm Chris.
10 years.
I'm also 10 years.
And I'm still Gus. I'm 10 years older. It's the 10th anniversary. It's the tin anniversary. It's the 10th anniversary.
So explain that. Why do you point to your head when you say tin?
Because it's got tinfoil hat.
There's no such thing as tinfoil. What are we in the 1930s? Where'd you get tinfoil?
This is tinfoil. I went out of my way to find tinfoil.
It's aluminum foil.
Feel it. Does that feel like aluminum foil to you? It doesn't, does it?
It doesn't feel like tin either. It feels like plastic, dumbass. Kind of tin. It's a noise that tin makes.
Do we still have the boxes, Eric?
Somewhere. Contains no tin.
Could I keep this for an ASMR video after the show?
Sure.
I don't know.
Chris Damaris, quick.
What?
Periodic table of elements. What is the atomic symbol for tin?
Tien?
No.
P. Wait,
You are correct. It is P.
is
It is P.
It's a weird one, right?
It's a weird one. That's why I asked.
Ellie. No, that's lead.
No, that's not lead.
Ellie. That's it. Yeah, what is it, Gus?
Is it SN?
It's SN. As far as I recall, it's SN. Hey.
Tin foil hat for
Tin oil
cats.
fats for cats. Okay, hold on, let me see here. Please replace after 6 weeks. Who's gonna put this on their cat for that long?
We have a model cat right here.
So what I heard about that cat.
Dumps the cat.
Gus has this like little stuffed cat.
Dumps has been on the podcast before with you. You can address him by name.
This has a lot of weird warnings on it. Do not leave pet unattended with the hat.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
This product is for cats only.
Mm-hmm. Do not put it on the dog.
But these are different. That's a cat
It
one.
also says do not use on Siamese cats ever. Really? Like, why not? What's up with Siamese cats?
Their chakras are aligned at a 45-degree angle.
My head feels...
It blocks their satellite.
You can think clearly, right?
No, my head feels warmer.
Well, you know, whenever they have like emergencies, they give you like foil blankets. So
They do. I had a couple of those.
I initially went to just buy foil hats for us, and after I bought them on Amazon, it was like related products, foil hat for cat. Well, I fucking gotta get that.
You gotta
too.
get something for dumps.
Says this blocks dog ESP. I just spit big time when I said that, by the way. That was a huge spit. I can't tell if there's no ingredients or like materials.
It says in big letters, tinfoil hat for cats.
Tinfoil hats, though, they're probably saying is like a category of hat. Like you got your tinfoil hat on.
If someone accidentally spits on you, but then they don't acknowledge it, is it weird to acknowledge it?
For you to say, hey, you just spit on me?
Yeah, or it's like they're just having, and they're not like intentionally spitting on you.
Did I spit on you?
No, but Bernie said, oh, I just spit. And you acknowledged it. You didn't even spit on anyone. I would never have known. But
Barbara, I'm going to throw this over to you. I think I've spit on Barbara like 1,000 times in the last 10 years.
I think the problem is that I'll acknowledge it just by laughing silently
like,
over here. Because the great thing is, if you're talking to me, you'll spit on me. Gavin will see you spit on me. I'll feel it, and you'll just keep talking. So we're over here laughing as you're just continuing on.
It's an audio podcast, so we can't continue with that. Can I go through a very, even though I said it's an audio podcast, a decidedly un-audio bit?
Sure, we have something to bring out after you tell the story.
Okay. I hope this is okay to talk about.
I hope it's not.
About a month and a half ago,
6 weeks for our international viewers.
they redesigned our entrance to the complex. What? Who designed that?
Why is it that way?
It is the worst.
I know why it's that way.
Explain why it's that way.
It's because the gate had such a far distance
why?
to close and open, so it would oftentimes, while it was closing,
I
it
have
would
a
stop
whiteboard
or
here.
break.
I'm going to attempt to draw this for the
fucking still
audience.
talking.
Look, I'm going to wait till he's done drawing.
No, you keep going.
Okay, here's the problem. I get that.
Yeah.
Why did they cut it off on the left? You come up to scan,
Let's
you
explain
scan,
this.
and
Let's
then you have to go to
explain
the right.
I don't know.
All right.
Well, they couldn't have cut it off on the other side.
Okay, so.
This isn't audio friendly. Immediately turns the microphone away.
And I bust out a whiteboard, too. All right, so here's the deal.
Why are you drawing it that way?
Because you go up into the complex. You want me to draw it like this?
I thought you were drawing the gate.
It seems easier. Is everyone okay with the orientation of the whiteboard before I begin?
For our audio listeners, we're going portrait instead of landscape. I think
make it
Samsung has
diagonal?
a TV that can effectively show this now.
Okay, here's the road out here. Whoop, this is the road that you come in on. Then our driveway comes in up to the gate, okay? Our gate is a fence. Now it's a fence where this is fence, and then this is moving gate. That's what that is. That's the symbol for moving gate. So I'll put a little, let's say D&D symbol, so we use door. Okay, so the thing comes in like this.
That's a secret door.
So this is the road, and this is 2 lanes. So your car comes here. The card reader is on the left side over here. This is where you get in.
That's where you swipe in.
You gotta swipe because we have a very secure facility here.
Yeah.
Then this side.
If you don't swipe in 5 seconds, the sniper takes
So
you out.
if you're listening to audio, on the left side, that's where the card reader is. On the right side, that's the side of the gate that opens. So you gotta pull up here, swipe your card, it opens. Then you gotta pull over to the right. But that wasn't enough for them to misdesign this thing. Then they've got this entire inside lane here is all striped off like this.
Right.
So you're not supposed to drive there.
On top
You're
of
not
that,
supposed to park
there's
there.
an arrow that directs you from the swipe directly over the striped area.
They're like this, just don't come here
Right.
late.
It's like the arrow says, after you swipe, go this way to the do not enter area.
You're not supposed to park there.
And then you're not supposed to park there. And then to make it even worse, this is the everything's got slashes. This is the little pad that you have to land on in order to open the gate going
Right.
out. So then you got to go through the stripe here. It's just the worst design.
It's awful.
It's like I don't know who these guys. Assuming it's guys that they built this gate and they redid it. What point did they go? Yeah, we're done. This is good enough. You know what I mean? Somebody must have looked at it and go, "This is completely wrong," because it's not intuitive in any
Maybe-
way whatsoever.
Maybe just one side of the gate broke, and they were like, let's just make it seem like it was purposeful.
Which side broke? Going in or going out?
The left side of the gate going in broke, so only the right side opens.
Chris, it's one gate.
Well,
It used to be a long gate. A long gate, and it would go all the way across. But now they were like, this thing breaks too much. Let's just make half of it
A shorter
fence."
distance to open and close.
Right.
Someone in chat, who is this? Samuel Albera says, Bernie's wearing a tinfoil hat and scribbling garbage on a whiteboard is the wrong orientation. I can't help but think this was a natural progression of things after 10 years.
It is. This is where we ended up. Next up,
Quality
the government. Give me some red strings. I'm gonna need red strings and thumbtacks.
But instead of red strings and thumbtacks, we have something a little different.
What do we got?
You got that thing you want to bring out? Or is it? Eric's going to bring it over.
Now listen, I want to point out something else too before Eric brings this out. You guys, this was supposed to be the Steak Off podcast. In addition to it,
What did you say?
8 minutes.
10 minutes?
That was 8 minutes. That was 8 minutes in.
did I get it?
Who won?
What happened?
We had a pool going to see how long it would take you to bitch about not being the Steak Off podcast
Yeah,
this
of
week.
course.
Shane,
Shane.
Shane, you win.
How much did you get? He's getting money.
$71.
$71.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I like that he reached up to pull the jib down. Hold on. He's got his reverse there.
So Shane, I got my eye on you now. You're in the crosshairs, just so you know.
To be fair, I bet that you would say it as Gus was introing the show.
Who was it? Hey, throw him under the bus.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Nicholas, who was it that when we went to the live show downtown, I walked in and they were complaining about me when I walked in. I just stood behind them complaining about me, not ordering food or something. I forget who it was, though. I mean, I didn't forget. They're baked in my brain. Guys, who was that? I walked in, they go, why is there no food? It's like, because Bernie didn't answer his slacks. And I was like,
Oh, it was.
there we go. That's the
I think
right
it was
answer.
Brian. He's not here.
They starved to death.
All right. So
God.
you complained about the steak off, but we were bringing this out before.
What is that?
Before that.
What
Who
the
was that?
fuck is that?
I remember tonight.
Oh my god.
That's
Is this
awesome.
a cake for me?
Wow.
What does it say?
It's a big
Thanks
old
for
peanut.
10 long years.
Thanks for 10. It's a big dick cake.
Thanks for 10 long
With
years.
a hand holding it.
It's not a
Where?
long dick, though.
Where's the hand?
You see the white hand?
Oh, yeah. Is that string cheese?
Yes. it's
Oh, there it
string
is.
cheese.
Wow.
I don't know what this is.
That's a present. You never got a present
I've never
before?
gotten a present
Who
in
is
my
it?
life
Who is that from?
That's from us.
That's from
from Boss
Us
Broadcast.
to
Broadcast?
you.
Wow.
Who made that cake? Did y'all record? What does a bakery
Yeah, did you
make
go to a
dicks?
bakery for that cake?
Oh yeah, I had
like
to
a
like call
bach-
around, and there's a place. Yeah.
Like bachelorette parties.
Bakery?
Bachelorette parties.
Oh, that's true.
It says Rooster Teeth. It's a sign. It says Rooster Teeth Podcast 10th anniversary, celebrating 2 decades of podcasts.
Doesn't
It's
make-
3 now
Yay.
because we're over 10 years.
It's almost 3. It'll be 3 in 2020.
What?
No, because here's why. We started in 2008.
Correct.
That's 1 decade. Then now we're in the teens.
Correct.
So that's the 2nd decade.
Yep, you're
but
right.
we're over 10 years, so we've started our 3rd decade.
Over 10 years is the 2nd decade.
That's 3 decades. I just rattled off.
In 2020, it'll be 3 decades.
3 decades. We're in our 3rd decade.
3 decades is still over 2 decades.
That's beautiful.
It's a thing of beauty.
That's a lot of thinking because it's like 10 years, 2 decades. It makes no sense.
What are you gonna do with that sign?
We're gonna put it up somewhere. Probably put it on the set back over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, Too many, not enough.
We're all in agreement, though, Chris. It's too many podcasts. it's too many.
It's a lot of podcasts.
At what point did it become too many?
5?
You think 5 years?
No, 5 podcasts. Episode 5. I think that's. Is that when I took over? You did the first few. You did.
I did like the first 6,
Okay.
something like that.
Number
And they
6.
were they were also way more intermittent when I did them.
By you doing them, you mean like audio mixing and stuff?
Yeah, I would edit them and everything. Yeah,
You set up the mics and corral everyone to do it.
I did
Can't
the first Let's
imagine.
Play too.
Really? What else first things did you do, Rooster Teeth?
Pretty much everything. Yeah.
So you're going to be the first to eat a dick?
I would not be the first person in this company to eat a dick. I would not be. Is there a vein on that?
Yes.
I want the vein. Give me the vein. No, I can't partake. Not because it's dick shaped.
Chris, do you want dark meat or white meat?
I want dark meat. But what's that weird little like,
I think it's supposed to be
vein?
the
Is that a
thumb.
vein? What is
That's a thumb, and those are fingers holding onto the
So
dick.
if you look at the
Looks like some
top,
sort of
there's
weird
4
growth.
fingers on the other
I'll
side.
move this.
I thought it was string cheese.
Why is there a single cupcake?
Thought it would be nice for you.
Oh, thank you.
If you want the
You're
light
welcome.
version.
Is it carb free?
Do you want head, shaft, or balls?
head?
That's
Most
the dark
sens-
meat.
Most sensitive area.
I'm gonna
Oh God, I can't watch this. Gus is cutting the cake.
L'chaim! You're a boy now.
Worst circumcision ever. Missed completely.
What is it? Chocolate or vanilla?
It looks like chocolate.
I'm gonna take a little bit of liberties with somebody else's social media presence, if I may, because usually we tend to leave people in the company alone with their social media stuff.
Is it
Gavin,
Both.
Gavin did a thing on Twitter that I noticed where he made a circumcision joke, and I still can't remember what the hell it was. Maybe it was something he did in a video, and he got called out. Like the guy with an agenda who was very anti-circumcision went after Gavin about it, saying you can't joke about these things. And Gavin was like, "No, you can joke about whatever you want to. It doesn't mean I agree with it." But then he dealt with this problem where pro-circumcision people saying, "Yeah, Gavin's right. Circumcision isn't bad." He's like, "I'm not saying that. I'm not pro-circumcision. I'm just
He's
saying
just
I can
trying to
make
make a
jokes
joke."
about things that are counter to my own beliefs." I can tell. I can also read through it all to Gavin. It's like, why did I get involved?
Right. It's like after a point, you're like, you get no value out of it. You're just arguing with people on the internet.
Why did I get
But then you're stuck
engaged?
in there because then if you stop responding, they're like, oh, well, I guess you have nothing else to say about this, so I
showed
won the
you.
argument. And it's like,
Very true.
I just don't want to keep engaging.
Very true. But I will
also-
say this: something happens with comedy a lot, and I think we've talked about it before. Is that comedy is based in dark stuff. It's based in stuff that's conflict based. It's like there's nothing funny. There's no sitcom about a guy who's got a great life and lives in a big house and has lots of money. That's just not funny. You know, a guy who's struggling, you know, like Always Sunny, people who are just like dealing with conflict. That's funny. So that's darkness. It's just when comedians get around to your particular neck of the woods of human darkness, then you get offended. But you're fine laughing. Like I used Red versus Blue as an example. We talk about this. Those characters are all idiots. They all have these horrible traits, every single one of them. But like Caboose is probably, arguably, the funniest character in the show. You know, at least on paper. He's a fucking idiot. Being an idiot is like everyone's laughs. Like, oh, it's so funny. He's such a dumbass. Being a stupid person is like it cripples your whole life.
Believe
you know what
me.
I mean?
Believe me.
It's a bad thing. And if you were dumb and knew you were dumb, it would be a hardship in your life. But it's one of those things you can make light of it, and it's funny. Doesn't mean we think people should be stupid. You know, it doesn't play in the same way.
I would
So
agree.
don't get offended when people get around to your neck of the woods of human suffering. You know.
That's always the best podcast material. Conflict.
Oh, geez.
Getting mad or arguing about something.
You know, one of the reasons.
No, it isn't.
There you go. Good one, Chris.
One of the reasons why I wanted to move the podcast closer to the end of the workday is so that people could come and air their grievances with each other on the podcast. Because I think that's actually very therapeutic to be able to do that. I like the fact that we work in a office or a workplace where people can go on camera and yell at each other the way I've always wanted to yell at people that I've worked with, and I know they want to yell back at me. And it's like we can do that here, and it's like then you can just walk away and be everyone's okay.
What are your grievances with us?
I don't really have any. I think I air them on a regular basis. So nothing
Every
builds
Monday
up.
between 5 and 6:30 Central Time.
Gus could probably name my grievances with him more than I could at this point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know when they're coming. I mean, we knew to be ready for your steak bitching.
He didn't even bitch about it, though. He just mentioned that we were supposed to do it.
Here's
knew
what
it was
I thought
coming.
it was a ruse. I did. I thought it was a ruse. I thought you guys were trying to pull a fast one because I'm the 2-time steak champion. And I thought that you and Eric got together and were like conspiring hats conspiring. They called me there. They texted me this weekend. Did I respond to that text, Eric?
Yeah. I think. Yeah,
see?
you got back to me on whatever I sent you.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome. Go fuck yourself. So I thought they were conspiring to say the stake off was not going to happen, and I was going to show up here with no entry,
And they're like, here you go.
so that
Here's your
Gus could
steak.
finally win by default.
The two best words. Default.
By default.
So I was going to say if people like the podcast, they can come to RTX where we do a live version of the podcast in front of a big audience. So that's happening this summer, July 5th to 7th, and we actually just started a thing where it's not going to be promoted anywhere else. But if you're a podcast listener or podcast viewer, we actually have a special code you can use for 15% off. Oh, there it is. They already got it. 15% off of weekend badges. So July 5th to 7th, come down, see us. And we're not going to be wearing the hats there.
We should.
Tell you what, if you come to Austin for RTX, I want you to take pictures with two things. That fucking door that's still under construction at the airport. People send me photos of that door all the time. And also go to see our gate and see this stupid fucking setup. And
Do not do that.
Take
Do
a
not
picture of
come
it.
to the office.
You can go to the gate and take a picture with the big stage 5. People do that all the time.
As long as you stay outside the gate.
Right. The gate, you can't get in the
Because, I mean,
gate.
you can't get in there
Don't be
anyways.
disappointed.
It's a confusing gate too, so it's
Yeah, that's part of it.
maybe
You'll
that's what
wanna
it is.
stay
Extra
outside.
security. It's like if people can't figure out how to get in, then we're
Then they'll
safe.
they just give up.
Yeah.
We actually just filmed a promo video for RTX today.
Oh, I've got a grievance about that.
Why? Because you're not
What?
in it?
I am in it.
Oh. I already know what this
The
is gonna be.
script had me playing quote unquote old man. And I thought, oh, I'll show up and they'll have wardrobe for me or they're going to have makeup like a gray wig or something. No.
Just you.
They just had me in my regular clothes with no makeup playing old man. I was kind of insulted because I was like, they're like, okay, we're ready for you, Gus. They're like, oh.
Are you?
Oh, okay. We're just, okay, we're
To
doing
be
this.
fair, we did change the script to say adult instead of old man because everyone was supposed to be playing kids. Like we had Chris and Blaine and Jessica and Chad playing kids. And then everyone else in the office looks older than them anyway, so it worked out.
I got injured.
Chris did get injured today during the
it was
set.
one of the most painful injuries I've ever had on a set.
Really?
Yeah. I had
Do you think you got a concussion?
no.
Because that's a very damaging injury.
Why don't you tell Bernie how you got the
I got
injury?
potato in my eye.
You got potato in your eye?
Go on.
Like a
Wait. Do you want to
full-
guess? Do you want to guess at this?
Let me think about this. I've read the script. But I'm going to take a wild guess that Chris was looking very closely at a tater tot, and then he got a chunk of it in his eye.
Yeah, close.
Really?
It was just a raw what do you just call a big potato? Just a
Just call it a potato.
Potato.
We're not on a first name basis.
anyway.
Tuber?
So I had a potato and I was like balancing it on my forehead in between takes, or I don't know, it might actually
As one
been in
does.
a
I think
take.
it was during a take.
And a piece of the potato, I guess a potato like flake, fell
potato
off.
flake.
Like, it has like dirt and like dust on
It wasn't a
it.
potato, Gus. It was a big potato.
But it was a really big potato.
A big potato
It
flake.
somehow fell off and hit me in the eye. And I've had everyone gets stuff in their eye. This was in my eye for like 30. We had to like shut down the production
We had
because
to change shots and everything to get
because I
Chris
couldn't
more
get
time.
this potato out of my eye.
Well, maybe
We
it
thought
just
we were
had.
gonna lose you for the day.
I did too. I remember I was like
Are you-
flushing my eye with water, trying to get this potato flake out of my eye, and thinking it's not getting out. It's stuck.
Are
Potato
you
flake.
sure you got it out? Because potatoes can grow anywhere. Like, what if you start to see like a little leaf start to sprout out? Like, what if it got in there?
Was this an urban legend about the kid who stuck the bean up his nose and it started to sprout?
I heard that about
Did you hear
watermelon.
that?
Watermelon.
Watermelons.
seeds,
I've heard okay, yeah.
Never heard that.
You swallow. Yeah.
Was there a Russian dude who had a fir tree growing in his lung?
Yes.
That's true, right?
Yes.
That's scary. Yeah, like breathing pollen, and he had a fir tree that started to grow in his lung.
Ugh.
That's pretty wild.
Pretty fucking wild.
God, the human body is just
Where would you want to grow
Terrifying.
plants?
In my yard.
No,
Yes,
no. On your body.
preferably.
In your body. Somewhere on your. You have to create up a little garden somewhere.
Oh, I would do like the little gap right here in the shoulder, like
shoulder
in the
gap?
clavicle right up here. Just put some dirt and some water. Get like a little pecan tree and like reach over your pecans.
But they be little pecans that
yeah.
size.
I mean, this is
Some
already
succulents.
called a bush.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
just deflower or
Oh,
reflower.
not even better.
Yeah. A lot of innuendos could be
Yeah,
used.
yeah.
Yeah, it would just grow like a little like rose garden in my vagina bush.
There you
I wonder
go.
if you could do that thing. I've always wanted to have one of those lawns like at a ballpark where they mow it and then they take a roller and they roll stripes into it. They just, if you go opposite direction, and it makes that cool, like it looks like a striped lawn.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could do that with your pubes? Like if you could just like roll one direction and roll the other. If you
I mean,
could.
you'd have to be probably pretty wide and thick.
Grass grows straight and pubes curl.
What are people doing out there with pubic hair these days, Chris? You're single.
They don't.
Anybody like doing dye like different stripes and stuff like that?
Like frosted
Name it.
tips.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never seen frosted tips. I've seen.
When you go down, it's like you're kissing Guy Fieri.
Welcome to Flavor Town, bitch.
I've seen hearts, like heart-shaped bush. Like
Really?
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of effort.
that's not where the heart is, though.
Home is where the heart
Oh
is.
yeah.
So a big thing when I was
Good. No,
dating,
yeah.
when I was in college, was girls would go to tanning salons. I don't think that's a big thing anymore, but they go to tanning salons and then they put stickers on, and then they get the very specific tan, like the one little patch of tan
Oh,
line.
yeah.
Because the tanning salon was so they wouldn't have any tan lines.
Right.
But then they had this one little patch where it was. What would you think was the number one thing?
Heart.
Probably a heart.
No.
No.
This is like late early
peace sign?
mid 90s, late 90s.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
Peace sign?
Playboy Bunny. That was the big thing.
Oh.
That was, and in fact, we had a friend that we knew that did a lot of business with Playboy as a company, and he told us that huge publishing empire, the Playboy publishing. I just wanted to pause because Gus was like,
I'm dying. I
Gus
got
was-
cake in my nose or something.
He got potato
I got,
fries.
dick in my nose.
It could start growing in your lung.
You won't have a fetus in here.
You got a little dick.
But he told us like mid 2000s, late 2000s, the biggest part of their business, because everything had declined with publishing, the biggest part of their business was licensing the Playboy Bunny still. That was huge.
Yeah.
For like car stuff and air fresheners
Clothing,
and
I'm
probably
sure.
condoms. I'm sure the Playboy condom
I've seen the
out there
Playboy
somewhere.
Bunny on like so many like women's hoodies and t-shirts and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But I don't
Most of
know.
it looks unlicensed. Like you always look at it and it's like, that's not quite right. Like,
Yeah, something's
the
off.
shape's a little off. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
We just got as a gift, we got a Hobbs. It's like a stuffed
what?
Hobbs. Like
Oh,
from
like Calvin
Calvin and
Hobbes?
Hobbes.
Calvin
Yeah.
Hobbes.
And I got this thing in my house. I'm like, I know this is unlicensed.
Yeah, it's
you know what I
definitely
mean? But normally that's okay. It's like bought it at a flea market and somebody crafted up a little Hobbs. But this is clearly manufactured, bought off a store shelf somewhere. And it's like, I just don't know why that IP in particular, nobody cares. Even though it's so beloved, nobody cares that it's just being ripped off.
Yeah, I don't know.
People are weird about that. If like their shit gets stolen, whistled.
You can't get it. You can't, and that one's especially hard because you can't get it legally any other way. They
No,
never did
right.
Any license.
So they just want it, and they don't care that that it's being unlicensed. Because it's not like they're taking. He's not like losing revenue from his licensed products. He's just not doing licensing stuff.
Yeah.
But that's weird to me. It's like when that stuff happens. Like I shut my mouth about the whole PUBG Fortnite thing when that was going on because people just didn't seem to care at all. That Fortnite was like, yeah, this is a really cool game. Let's just do that instead of our PvE game. But it was free and it was on the PS4, so it was like, it's fine.
Man, I've been looking at player base numbers, watching like Apex Legends shoot up and then shoot down, and then Fortnite kind of peaked. It seems like Fortnite's already peaked and it's kind of starting to peter down a little bit. And PUBG never got as big as Fortnite, but it's been very consistent.
Do you know what's gotten big in my house again is with the kids is they're playing Minecraft again.
Oh,
They're like
really?
circling back around to Minecraft. I think there was like an update or something like
There's
that.
also
now
the
they-
nostalgia thing where
That game
people
will not
just
die.
miss certain
Yeah.
games
Now
and
that they finally removed Notch from it, everyone's getting
Yeah.
back into it.
supporting it again.
Do you do VR stuff, Barb?
I have in the past, but I don't have any set up at my place, so
Dude, I got this VR game. I got it for Teddy because it was top rated on VR. And Teddy's in the room. We set it up like in the living room, the one that's on the right when you go in my house. He's in there and he's fucking flailing around. I'm like, I was like, this is really cool. And like he took off the headset and he was all red and sweaty and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, this is really cool. It's like Beat Saber. It's like a really active game. I feel
Yeah,
not
good
so bad for
exercise.
letting him play this for like 30, 40 minutes straight. And I was like, let me check it out. It's a medieval game. It's called Blade and Sorcery. Holy shit. That game is ridiculous.
what makes it ridiculous? Is it just like you're fending off yourself from
So you basically pick up like, any weapon. Anybody here play this? Want to jump on the sidecar?
Beat
Anybody
Saber?
here? So you can pick up literally any weapon. And it's VR, so you have your hands, and it's your first-person perspective, or whatever that means in VR. You know, you're in this thing, and you can pick up like a sword in this hand, a shield in this hand, or a two-handed battle axe, or like 2 daggers, or a bow and arrow, or you can turn your hands into like lightning and stuff like that. But it's basically just like you're in an arena and enemies come at you, and you just fucking just like stab them, like glork, like right in the stomach or whatever. Or they come at you with a weapon, you can block it or whatever, and then hack off their leg or something like. You're not playing this game anymore. And then I played it for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
This is like an updated version of that other. There was another like gladiator game. What was it?
Gorn.
Gorn.
Yeah,
This is like
this is way more. That's pretty cartoony. Gorn. This one is not cartoony. This one is like
I'm watching footage of it right now.
it's so visceral when you're playing it because it's so immersive. That's like I'm just waiting for the news to pick up on this game existing because it's
You've got like the force and stuff.
yeah. You have sorcery stuff, dude. It's called blade and sorcery. So you can turn your hands like you can zap them with this hand, then run up and stab them.
Yeah,
in the
I
face.
saw someone stab someone and then like with the using the force grab the dagger back out of them back to their hand.
No, that's a mechanic that a lot of VR games like my favorite VR company is Alchemy Labs.
They're so good.
So good. They made Job Simulator. They made the Rick and Morty game as well, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They put out a sequel to Job Simulator called Vacation Simulator, and I've actually been playing that since.
Is this
we
the
said
game?
that. This is it.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
You can
Oh my
grab
God.
people too. And it's just like
oh, he ducked. Oh no! Did you 3 stooge him? Looked like he got poked in the eye.
This is my favorite.
Oh, there
This
goes a
is-
leg.
My favorite Game of Thrones scene.
Oh, that's awesome.
it's
Wow.
pretty fucking ridiculous.
Is there? This reminds me to ask because I don't know this, but is there a VR game that's exercise based?
Beat Saber. A lot of people play that for exercise. Have you ever played
Yeah?
Beat Saber? Oh my gosh, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, you get your heartbeat gets up there depending on how like there's difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like any other beat based like DDR type game. It's really fucking fun. So we're thinking about. I was talking with Ellie about it. She didn't respond though. Thinking about doing like a full on like for an RT Life, just clear out that area in the Rooster Teeth office and then set up some VR stuff there and do it. But
Yeah.
like do it with like fans and like throwing water on people and shit like that. That'd be fun.
Crazy.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fun. Vacation Simulator is fun. And then there's a Zero something. It's an FPS shooter game. And it's the clip that I saw where like the guy reaches over and takes the clip out of his enemy's gun and puts it in his. It's just like that fun stuff you can only really do in VR that you can't do other places. I haven't tried that yet though. But we played this and then I was mortified at my own. I mean, normally I'm like, I grew up playing video games. So I'm like, oh, they're not violent or whatever. This thing is like a serial killer trainer. It's like
Do you start like killing household pets and then work your way up to like gladiator matches?
It's just an endless stream of people that you can just hack up, basically. And it's highly realistic feeling, at least. You know, I mean, the motion of it. You get into some crazy stuff where somebody gets in like your hitbox and then everybody starts flopping around and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's like you have these moments of like, yeah, that's what it's like to stab a dude in the chest with a gigantic sword.
Oh, I've always wondered.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like literally, you'll have to pull the sword back out. So you have to give yourself enough room if you go down to like the hilt into their body. You've got to like pull all the way back out. And then you can turn it around and hit somebody in the head with the hilt. You can like...
It looked like they pinned someone to the wall with a sword there.
Yeah, you can let go of it and flip it around and then go stabby stab. Like, do reverse your grip on it. It's pretty fucking nuts, this game. Pretty nuts. So, Teddy can't play anymore.
He's old enough for that.
He is, but I mean, I don't know. It's like, maybe I'm just being like a typical parent of like, I didn't grow up with that. So, but certainly I saw fucking super violent movies. All the Friday the 13th movies I saw when I was a teenager.
And it's humans.
Right.
It's not even just
Fake things. But also,
CGI.
I wasn't doing it. You know what I mean?
Very
it's like,
true.
I don't know. So it's like I have to like figure this out, and I'm monitoring him closely.
Modern problems.
But could also be training him to sword fight against other people who have played the game who want to kill him.
He'll have to eventually rise up and stop Mariel.
It's true. She's getting dangerous with those swords.
Favorite VR game?
What's that one where time freezes anytime you move? Or you
Super
don't?
Hot.
Super hot.
Yeah.
I could tell you my least favorite VR games, just horror games in general.
Yeah, buddy.
I can't play horror games as it is.
Arizona Sunshine's a zombie game.
It's so good.
Just being
Especially when you're
immersed in
like
it.
with no light in the mines.
I can't.
It's good.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it's fucking scary
I'm
as
too
shit.
fucking scared.
All right. Well, it'll prepare you for the eventual zombie
I
apocalypse.
had what I was gonna say. Now I can't. Oh, the Star Trek bridge game.
That's
I
a good one.
fucking love that, but I can't find anybody who will play it with me because it's tough because not everybody has a VR setup,
Right,
you
you
know. But it's like you're on the bridge of the like an Enterprise class ship, and it's like the old school original series, like ding, like all the like the you know the bridge
Once you start
noises.
getting like the self-contained systems that don't need a PC to run them,
Yeah,
the self-contained headsets, you'll probably find a lot more people.
I gotta say,
willing to jump in.
PSVR for the PlayStation is remarkably undermarketed. I think it really is good. Like I played Skyrim on that, I believe, and everything I played on that was
You
really
can tell
enjoyable.
that when even just unboxing it and opening it up, you can tell that Sony has a long history in consumer electronics and consumer products. Because like you open it and it's way more user friendly than even like the Vive or the Oculus. Like everything's labeled with numbers. You go through the instructions and it like refers to the numbers. It's like if you don't know anything, it's just like plug 1 into 2, plug 2 into 3. It's like that's it. You're done. It also helps that a PlayStation 4 has very limited ports.
We don't have a chat this week, guys.
Oh, I'll get it up.
Okay,
right,
Eric's gonna get it up. Oh, look
sorry,
at that right there.
That was very fast.
Here, let me read this thing.
Okay.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by.
Baby steps with investing, but gosh, it'll pay off.
That's what they say. Yep.
It'll pay off. Baby steps, one step at a time. Like drop of water in a bucket is what it'll feel like at first, but then the water multiplies.
What was the statistic that you said?
It's I don't know if it holds up anymore, but the old adage was that every 7 years your money doubles.
Wow.
So the example I use is if a 20-year-old put away $10,000, and I realized making that statement that most 20-year-olds don't have $10,000 to put away in investment. That being said, the example that I gave was extreme. It showed how it turned into, I think, like $1.8 million by the time they were 65 or something.
Is that investing in stocks or bonds or both? Or
I would say probably get a financial person if you don't know what you're doing, because picking your own stocks, you're like, I don't know. Although there's some stuff I like that did really well, like Netflix and Tesla. I'm like, fuck. But you tend to invest emotionally, and you shouldn't do that.
I think that's like a thing a lot of people do is like they stick to companies that they're familiar with or industries that they're familiar with.
Yeah, but you can do like an index fund, something that's tied to like
Just the overall market.
the Dow, the S&P, and then you can do that, or mutual funds. But just the old adage is if you invest, and some years you'll get crazy returns of like 10%, and sometimes you'll get okay returns of 5%. Sometimes you'll lose money.
Yeah.
That's always the tough part,
guarantee.
because when you start to lose money, especially if you put in money in years when you lose and you lose the principal, the money you put in, and you're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Take investing advice from a guy in the tinfoil hat.
Listen, let me tell you. I'm going to talk to you about some other products later, and I'm not taking the fucking hat off.
But I was going to say the example that I used was, yes, 20-year-olds don't have $10,000 to put away, and I get that. But that extreme, crazy example assumed you were putting away no other money for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It was just that amount and nothing else. So it's just like, where's Joel when you need him? It's like there's weighted, like as you put in over time, then your weighted buy price changes. Like if I bought Dell or something over the course of 10 years, my weighted price for it changes, because as the stock goes up, I don't have it all at this amount.
Right.
So that makes sense. Like an average kind of
I feel like
thing.
we should do a financial podcast at some point. I know Meryl's been talking about wanting to do that for a while. She knows a lot about finance.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things you got to demystify it. I don't know if it's like this in other countries, but I'm always just mortified in the US at how we obfuscate the I sound like Mike Tyson doing an interview. You know, it's like 4-syllable words. How it's like we make mathematics more difficult for finances, which is the most important thing in a capitalistic society. Like in grade school math, they teach you probability and things like that, which are useful, but geometry, calculating the volume of a cylinder, not as useful as say calculating an interest rate, or amortization. It's those things are really important to know, and we just don't ever. We don't teach them to school grade.
I know
kids.
the volume of the cylinder. 12 ounces.
There you go. You nailed it, dude. Let me quiz you on that. Do you remember what is the volume of a cylinder?
Oh man.
Well, it's simple, right? It's the height of the cylinder
It's
times the volume of the circle.
which is pi times diameter. Or is it
times pi r squared?
pi r squared is area, isn't it?
Yes.
But that's the area of a 2D object is the
Area
volume.
2D object, right. So
2 pi r is the circumference.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so
Right?
pi r squared. You're right. It's probably
Pi r squared times the height of the
height.
cylinder. Did I get it right? You tell us, you jerks.
there. It is.
Pi r squared h.
Yes, look at me. I can calculate the volume of the cylinder. Literally have not accessed that information in 30 years.
And you remember
Probably. And I remembered it, and I have not used it between when I learned it and just now.
Are you telling me, as an entrepreneur, You've never had to calculate the volume of a cylinder?
It's never come up. Not one time has that come up.
You weren't going to close a big deal, and they're like, wait, Mr. Burns, before we proceed, we have a simple geometry question for you.
God, I can't remember if that's ever come up before. Ever.
Probably not. I feel like, isn't it some theory that, well, not some theory, but people say that for things you learn in school, especially like math equations and things like that, that you're not necessarily learning these things to use throughout your life, but just to teach you how to learn and how to absorb knowledge.
Maybe.
JD's going to school. He's like figuring out what college he wants to apply to. And I think about this all the time. It's like, you know, he's very much in the world of end of high school, thinking about extracurriculars, GPAs, anything that's going to make him more attractive to the colleges he wants to go to. And all I can think of is, like, especially when you talk about GPA, is I graduated from college. I have never, ever shown my diploma to anybody, like had to prove that I went to a school, UT, and I don't even know. I don't know what my GPA is. I've literally never been asked outside of college what my GPA is.
Right, but I think it's more important getting into college. People look at that when you're going in.
Right, but I did educate myself in college, and I was graded with the
I think it's more
scale.
for grad school and things of that nature.
And
You know,
also,
like, it's like it only matters to other educational institutions. Yeah, that's the only thing that the GPA matters for.
could it matter also depending upon what field you get into, you know? Like
Maybe.
if you're like, I
Very
don't know.
competitive, like, medical field,
you
or
know, like a cylinder calculating field or something. I don't know.
Well, if I was in engineering, I probably would have to calculate the volume of a cylinder occasionally. But how many perfect cylinders are there? I guess if you're a manufacturer.
Yeah, well, then it's really calculus, right? That's what you're really gearing up to learn.
That's true.
It's calculus that's actually useful that only nerds supposedly learn. And that's a fucking order of magnitude different than geometry or algebra.
Night Human in the chat said they had to show their diploma.
Like their actual physical diploma?
Yeah, they had to show their diploma to their job.
I needed my diploma for
There's a
this
great one
job.
there.
Real talk, for 13 years, I faked a diploma, and I've never told anybody.
Yeah, let's keep that up. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Hello, police.
Prove it. Post your picture.
Police.
We're reading stuff from the chat here.
I'd show my
Nah, I don't
diploma to get a job here.
Bernie's
Did you?
GPA is
Yeah.
350.
Oh, yeah.
Was it probably for like an immigration thing?
It was for the work visa. I had to prove my education.
That makes sense.
Yeah, do you fuckers in Canada, do you take the SAT? What do you take?
No,
You don't take a standardized test at the end of high school?
I didn't know.
SAT like replaced the IQ test of like, would you get this?
We should take IQ tests.
Would you? Seriously? Do you want to do that?
We should absolutely do that.
I take an IQ
Oh.
test.
do
We're
it.
gonna put a bet on this.
Of like who would have the worst one?
I want to win some of that $71 back. What's wrong with you? Gus just all of a sudden started looking at stuff like he's
Something's
scared.
making a weird noise back there.
Would you really like?
Is that you, Chris?
That was me.
If
Oh,
I
okay.
got an IQ test together, you would legitimately take it.
Absolutely. We
That-
should.
Only
Yes.
if for one of the podcasts it's just us taking the test.
Oh, that sounds awful.
For an hour and a half of us just
Wait,
sitting
how
here with
long are
pencils.
those tests?
They're long, right?
Is
Like
it
an
not
hour?
something like
don't
you
know.
could do online?
No, I think you have to have someone administer it.
Surely there's an online IQ
we should,
test.
We should also have a baseline of other. Can we get other employees to opt in?
Yeah, do you
if they
want,
want to
like-
take it and have like a baseline?
Yeah, I want Blaine to take it.
Okay. Yeah, we should. You should line it up, Eric.
Okay, I'll start putting it together.
Chat is 100% proving me wrong. At least in their experience, they're all saying they had to show their diplomas in order to get their jobs. And somebody just said that they had to say what their college GPA was 12 years after they graduated college.
Whoa.
And it determined their starting pay. Sorry I didn't get your name. It went by really fast.
That's
How
crazy.
do they prove their? I mean, I guess you get records.
get a
for that
transcript
stuff.
or something?
I don't know.
Oh, somebody said get Mensa to administrate the test. I like that.
We can do that.
Oh, yeah, an impartial authority.
Is there really not an online IQ test?
I think they're not reliable.
I just
No, we want this official, Barbara, on the record.
I guess I'm used to doing all those online quizzes now, like which
Those aren't IQ tests.
I know they're not.
Can we give Barbara a BuzzFeed one?
Yeah, give me a BuzzFeed test of like which sandwich are you based off your favorite Office character or some shit like that.
How honestly, how fucking lame is Mensa? I mean, really, there's
Yeah.
a club. There's a club where you have to think you're a smart person, then prove you're a smart person to get into it.
And then hang out with other smart people.
And yet you're so smart you haven't figured out that it's lame at any point in time. How is that possible?
Can we get Bernie a Mensa membership if he qualifies?
Like, there's no pretty
Yeah, I'll get
people's
it.
club, right? That's just a regular nightclub. That's it. It's like you can get in or you can't. But there's no like club. It's like, oh, I'm in this club that says I'm beautiful. It's like smart people just feel so fucking miserable all the time. They have to have a club that proves that they're smart.
I think that's what they call being a model.
Or like
You can be an engineer.
Social
You're
media.
smart. You don't have to have a club.
Very true.
So is there a models union?
there was a
I don't know, actually.
I don't know if it still exists, but
A lot
I
of good-looking
remember
dudes aren't models either. It's kind of a more female-centric thing.
there was some dating app that
You can name it.
I don't remember it, but it was like 7 years ago because I remember Brandon showed it to me, and he was like, "You have to like apply and get rated enough. You're hot enough to get into it."
Oh my
And,
god!
but it was like a live update. It would like people would be voting on it live.
Why did Brandon know about this?
It was whenever he was single. It was whenever he was
I
single.
mean, like, he wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I was there whenever he put up his picture, and it was like waffling, and he was like, "It's not looking good, Chris." He's like, right, and then he was like, but then he submitted another picture, and he got in. I was
Did
like, Yeah.
oh,
He's a good-looking guy.
that's a good way to like figure out
Yeah,
which
yeah.
pictures you want to use.
Just remember him looking at. It's not looking good, Chris.
Well, there's this secret LA Tinder. Like, I say LA Tinder, but it's just like a secret.
For like,
Like-
famous people?
It's not Tinder, yeah. It's really funny, Barb, because it's either famous dudes or good-looking girls. That's like
Yeah.
that's like it. It's just like
It's funny because I know a good-looking girl and a famous dude on that app
Yeah.
who actually met each other.
yeah. But still, like the really famous women are just like, I'm not getting on that fucking app. I'm good. I don't need any help.
Yeah.
I'm solid at this
Well,
point.
I remember years ago during like the MySpace era, the Hot or Not website, where people would upload their image and people would vote if they're hot or not. So it's kind of like that dating app.
Yeah.
I forgot about that website. Is that
Oh.
website still around?
I feel like that website is. That's one that's going to stand the test of time, I think.
Find someone new. Meet and chat to people near you.
So no,
Got to sign in.
hotornot.com.
I am male. Nope, not filling that out. Not. I heard Mike laughing out of the booth. I saw on a totally different topic. I saw an invention that I think Chris would really like earlier today. Someone modified a Roomba
Oh my god, I saw this go to Teddy.
so that anytime it hits a wall, it screams.
What?
But it also, they increased the speed on it too. So it just go like,
Or vocalized. It hits the wall and it goes, God damn it!
yeah, it's like, ow, son of a bitch.
And they're trying to eat dinner while this thing's like going around the room. God, it's so fucking funny.
Do we have that video? Because I want Chris to see that now.
It's like halfway through the video that you see the Roomba. It's 3 people sitting at a dining room table. Wasn't it Ashley Madison that was 90% of females are bots? I believe that.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
one where
think
they
it
had the
was.
hack, right?
Yeah, I think that's how they figured out that most of the accounts were fake there.
Oh.
That-
Damn.
yeah, you can
90%
realize
of the
it.
females.
Vegan friendly dick says they'd smash you, Gus.
Vegan friendly dick.
Nice. Tonight's your night.
Vegan friendly.
I saw someone post on Reddit somewhere a vegan lasagna that was
Oh,
not.
I saw that.
It was not lasagna. It was just a salad. Like they had made
It was a stacked salad.
They had made a layered salad. It's like that's not a vegan lasagna. Do you know what a vegan lasagna is? It was so weird.
So, just on a lark, you talking about nostalgia stuff, Barb.
You barely notice it after a while, huh? Like, ignore it, kind of like, how a, Roomba cleans your house. How likely would you be to adopt this into your household?
a horror movie.
Makes it more human, right? Makes it a little more personable.
Yeah.
You don't feel like there's a robot. What are your thoughts on it, Chelsea?
Dude, I love this thing.
You get the idea.
This kid has modified
guy's
a bunch
brilliant.
of things.
He is. Does he
Taking
just
his
look
own
really young, or is he a young guy?
I don't know.
He looks like he's like 15.
I don't know if he's that young. I think he's probably in his early 20s.
Yeah, it seems like those were his roommates. Either way, I'm a big fan of this guy now.
Such a great idea.
First video I've seen of his, and it's like I had Teddy watch it because Teddy's he's like at school, he's on the robotics team and everything, got a robotics class. And I'm just trying to get him more and more into coding. And I was like, oh, look at this. Anything that made him laugh. And Teddy was fucking bawling, laughing at this
Yeah.
thing.
Do you think he'll try to do his own version?
I hope so. I would love, man, if I had a Roomba going around the house screaming. Absolutely. I'll do that in a second. Hey, so I was saying to Barb, I was saying nostalgia stuff.
Yeah.
I was in Origin because I was going to play Apex Legends on the PSC. On the PC. I was going to play on the PC, even though I suck at Apex Legends on the PC. And then when I went in there in Origin, I had all these other games that I bought because they had a big sale. Oh, no. We got codes for Anthem. And the codes came with the
like Elite
Origin
Access
Premier.
That's it, yeah.
So I had like Ultima and like all these games in there that I could get. And then one of the games that I got with that was Sims 4. So I thought, I'll play Sims 4.
I was hoping you would say that.
And I loaded up Sims 4. And then I noticed, when did they make this change? I was going to make stuff. And it says vegan friendly on like some of the things you go to make. Like I'm going to make a cake. My character's good at cooking. So it's like, I was making a cake and it said, this cake is vegan friendly. Like it has in the chart of stuff you can make, it shows which stuff is vegan friendly.
Oh my God, are you fucking
So you can have
kidding
vegan
me?
Sims?
Yeah. You can have a vegan sim if you want to. But it's like, when did that change come in?
So then you immediately put them in the pool and take away the ladder, right?
No.
It's like, you're going to be a pain in the ass. Let's get rid of this right now.
It's not true simulation either, because if my character was a vegan, it's all they would be able to talk about. was
Right,
being a vegan. So, but they were able to talk about other stuff. So it's
saw their
not
little,
realistic
like,
at all.
Yeah.
Cartoon images above their head that wasn't just vegan.
Right. Just me, vegan.
Vegan.
Shame,
Vegan meat.
A cow with the international no symbol through it.
Everyone who they talk to just turns away instantly and leaves.
Yeah. Which we're making fun of vegans, and I know that those of you that's your personal emotional darkness. You're gonna get offended by that. But there are many vegans who are totally cool. Our friend Nat is like the hardest core vegan I have ever met in my life. Like if she's gonna buy something, she has these apps and she double checks on like multiple apps to see if the company making this
really
thing
is.
has partner companies within a holding company that use
Oh.
animal products.
Wow.
She's like, yeah, not.
But she
Do they have a
doesn't
term
talk
for that?
She's just vegan. She's like
No, I mean, like, that seems like an extreme.
militant.
Yeah.
What do you think about like
God mode
lab-grown,
vegan.
lab-grown meat? I know it's not really a thing yet, but if it is, like someone grows like a
Chris, what do you call a big lab grown meat? What do you call
potato. Get some flakes of that.
But, like-
I think there was a hypothetical question that someone posed recently where it was if you could grow meat in a lab that would taste and feel and like everything would be like regular meat, but it's not actual meat, it's grown in a lab, would you still eat it?
I would eat the fuck out of it.
We're heading that direction.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think in order, we have to. There's no alternative to that.
Like I'm trying to eat less
Yeah.
meat, just to be
why?
Conscious.
environmentally.
Okay. Yeah. I was
Reasons?
wondering if that was the motivation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
more-
a lot more people are leaning towards being vegetarian, less meat at least, because of environmental reasons.
Or was the word pescatarian with just fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
All the fish are dying, though.
Yeah.
So
but
not
like
too good either.
I like meat. I love meat.
Chris is on the record.
But-
He likes meat.
Do you want some more dick cake?
Fill me
Is
up.
it good?
It's actually really
very
good.
good, yeah.
It's really good.
Shit.
Do you want some?
No, I'm not gonna get it. I'm trying to lose 15 pounds by the end of May.
But
Have you tried the cake diet? What about
I haven't
what
tried
about
the
a
cake
cock cake diet?
Like I took a good long hard look at that beer and I drank like 4 sips and then put it back behind my chair so I won't touch it now.
Dr. Gus DDS recommends 100 cc's of cake a day to maintain a healthy weight.
But Chris, we cut you off.
oh, I don't know. I was just gonna talk about how I can't wait to eat some lab grown meat. I think it's gonna be awesome.
I agree.
It's gonna be
The big classic podcast debate is not lab grown, but just sourced from a completely moral free source. Would you eat human meat
yeah.
to try it? Like the person wasn't hurt in any way to get it. It's not diseased, but
It was just a
okay.
stupid clone.
It's okay that you have it. Like
Yeah.
there's no like take the moral parts of like
Well,
would you just eat human meat?
What if it was
try
in
it.
my will, like in your like my will? I want my friends to eat me. Like
you
it was
want
my
you to?
last request.
It's illegal in so many places.
I know. I'm just saying. In the same hypothetical, this is what I want.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't eat you.
You would, even if I was like, I specifically was like, I really want Bernie to eat me.
I feel like Chris. I feel like the people that know you would be in your will, and people who know you would never want to eat you. Like they know what you've done.
I'd be delicious.
They know where you've been.
Speaking of eating strange things, did you read that terrifying headline last week where 2 people on a plane developed bubonic plague?
What?
And
While on the plane?
they had to. Well, they realized that other people realized they had bubonic plague while the plane was in flight.
How?
What?
I'll
okay,
get to that.
I'm
And
dumb,
when-
but what is bubonic plague?
It's what
The plague.
the plague. Yeah,
Black
it
Death.
killed
The black.
almost everyone in Europe.
Was it 1/3 of the population?
I think it was higher than that. They had when the plane landed, they had to quarantine it. They had to have people in hazmat suits board the plane and start checking everyone.
Fuck that. I would shit my pants.
The 2 people they died from the plague. They got it because they were in Mongolia, and it was a couple, husband and a wife. The husband hunted and ate a marmot that had bubonic plague,
What's that?
like a weasel,
Oh, God.
and he gave some to his wife, and she ate it also, and they both got the plague from it.
Who can afford a trip internationally and still eat marmots? Well, I mean, it's just like that's such a Venn diagram. It's like only one person exists in those 2.
Apparently, there's 2.
How did they?
No, she's married to him. She didn't know what she was eating.
How did they realize that they had the bubonic plague on a plane?
On a plane.
It didn't get
yeah.
into specifics, unfortunately, but it just.
Like they smelled them or looked at them or
Let's see.
just like for it to develop on a
dramatic-
plane.
Barb, pun for the situation?
Buh.
What?
Buh.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're out of time. The correct answer was bubonic plane.
There were dramatic scenes when a flight from man, I can't even say this.
was so bad I didn't even think about it.
Ulgi and Kovd in Mongolia was met by workers in white anti-contamination suits as it landed in the country's capital.
Why are they white? Why are they calling out race?
11 passengers from the west of the country were held at the airport and sent immediately for hospital checks.
Dude, who wouldn't volunteer for that check? You're on a plane with people who have the plague. Do you remember that episode of Seinfeld where they go to India for the wedding?
Oh yeah,
It was the backwards episode, and the Indian guy
they have
goes,
the plague.
"The plague." God, I miss Seinfeld, man. I wish they were still making that show. Even if the guy who just made the modern Seinfeld Twitter account was the guy writing it, because it would be perfect, and I would love it.
I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about the plague.
There's another plane thing, which kind of goes back to something you and I were talking about a couple months ago, which is I said you get on a plane, count your fucking seats, the rows of seats to the nearest exit. Count it, because if you get in a situation where you can't see in the cabin and you need to get to an exit, you want to know how many rows to go before you get there. And
Right,
yeah,
you can feel the seats as
you
you're
can feel
walking
the
through.
seats, either the bottoms of the seats or the tops of the seats. You can feel either one. And they have those little lights there, but in a fire or something like that, those lights might.
And you see how black that smoke gets.
Yeah, they might malfunction immediately. Yeah, so I always do it. I always, like, when I sit down in my seat, I always look, where's the exit? And it's 2 seats back.
As jaded as I am, as you know, I don't listen to, all the announcements they make. I still count how many exits in front of me and how many rows to the exit behind me.
Really?
It's still like in either direction. I know how far I have to go, if I ever need to. Yeah, there was horrifying footage of that plane that went down.
Yeah, people had
in
footage of
Moscow.
it. Did the person who take that footage, they must have lived if the footage was
I
recovered, right?
assume so.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it was a Russian plane. It caught on fire and landed. And 71 people are dead now?
I think it's
41.
41.
Oh, I think I saw
there were 78 people on the plane. 41 died.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
The thing that angers me the most about that situation is that people died because there were other people trying to get their belongings down from the overhead bins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leave it, dude. Leave it.
In the photos, you see people getting out of the plane. You see them carrying their bags.
I don't think anything infuriates me more than that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's the
Yeah.
footage. I mean, I can't
Yeah,
imagine
you're right. 41 people.
being at the airport and you're like, you look out and you see, because this is probably just some guy at the airport in the terminal looking out the window.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, dude.
And like you said, there's footage from people inside the plane.
And
who
they
are
don't know what
filming.
happened yet? Like why it caught
It's
on
still
fire?
really early. I mean,
Jeez.
Was it coming down on fire, though?
I've heard
Like,
speculation.
where are all those fucking fire trucks that you always see at airports?
It doesn't look like they
Yeah,
they
that
might have
guy's
landed
got
on
a
a
bag.
taxiway, or they probably just landed wherever they could.
Yeah, literally fuck everyone with a bag. Fuck you.
They speculated that I've heard speculation that there was a lightning strike, but lightnings hit planes all the time and don't light them on fire. I've been on planes that have been struck by lightning.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, what happens?
Nothing. The plane's designed to take lightning strikes. It happens all the time. So I don't
would
know
hope so.
how much I believe that, but I mean that's what people who were on the plane were saying right now.
Could have been far worse, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, 41 people dying is really, really terrible.
I've been on a plane where I've been in a window seat on a plane and have had lightning strike the window seat in front of me.
Oh God.
and it doesn't do anything in the plane.
With a person
What the plane did was this, and then the captain comes on and goes, "We're gonna circle, and we're gonna." They just he just hard banked off to the side. Like, we're gonna wait a little bit, and then we'll decide to land.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing too is in that thing. Not that you'll ever be in this situation, but in the horribly unlikely circumstance that you are. Another thing in that video was there's a dude walking away who's got the bag, but then there's also the people who are just kind of circled up. Just fucking run.
Yeah.
Just get out of that plane and start hauling ass.
Yeah, because that's full of fuel.
Yeah. Do not just go.
Jet fuel, they probably don't know, but jet fuel doesn't explode. But they might
doesn't?
not know that. No, it just burns.
Right. But I would get the fuck out of there. Just period. Just get out.
Get out of the way. Let
Be
other
gone.
people
Be gone.
I see a lot
handle
of
the
people in the chat being like, "Oh, fuck that! I'm never getting on a plane, or I don't want to come on a plane to come to RTX." Plane disasters very
so
rare.
rare.
It's highly more likely you'll get hurt in a car crash.
It's probably more like you'll get hurt
Driving to the airport.
driving to work, or like something going to
Yeah.
the grocery store.
Yeah, especially nowadays, air travel is a lot safer than I imagine it used to be, and they're constantly making improvements. And
That's the interesting thing to me. Like, people always ask like why I'm interested in aviation disasters. It's like the industry is so safe. Like, when something goes wrong, I'm always curious to know what went wrong and then what gets learned from that. You know, because the industry evolves. Like, it used to actually be really dangerous back, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and there were so many disasters and problems that the industry really learned and had to adapt quickly in order to become really safe. And now it's a super safe way to travel. I was going to say I never worry about going down. I still count the number of rows to an exit just in case. But I'm not worried.
it's
that
good
it's
to
gonna
live
happen.
life in the yellow with caution, being aware of your surroundings and knowing the safest way to handle everything, but not living in fear,
Right.
because that is no way to live your life.
Did I have I told a story about my car accident?
I
on
don't
the
think
podcast?
so.
Well, I was in a car accident in December.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, so I was like driving home at like 10 or 11 at night. I pull up to a red light, and then I'm sitting there. I think there might have been someone in front. I don't really remember. Also, I get smacked from behind really hard, and I'm like, "Wah!"
How are you?
Huh?
How are you?
Hard. and
Wow. That's what I was
Hey
looking
guys,
for.
do you want some cake real quick? Do you want to grab a cake and
was
get
also
a cake
hard.
to the crew while we're doing this?
But then so I look up,
It's really good.
and the person who hit me, I'm like, they jumped the curb and are speeding off down like North Lamar, and they're speeding off.
That
hit and
sucks.
run.
And then so I was like, fuck it.
Oh, really?
And so I jumped the curb.
Really?
I jumped the curb and I speed off after them. And I'm like, I'm like, I've seen Fast and Furious, and I'm like,
Who were you? Who were you?
the fast one.
Okay.
I was also angry, so I was furious too.
So you were Drive Angry. You were Nicolas Cage.
Well, and,
It was
and then,
both Fast
and I was
and
like, I
Furious.
wanted to get their license plate, and so I pulled out my phone. I'm videoing it, and I'm like, this
This is a dangerous situation you're in.
You're making it worse, Chris.
okay. Well, I wasn't filming it.
What?
You can be honest.
Okay, I was filming it.
Don't do that.
So I was, and so I'm like, but I don't think they realized that I was chasing them, because they're zooming off, because I was zooming off after them, and then they pull up behind another red light, and I'm like, I pull up right behind them.
Should have hit him.
Well, so I pull up right behind them. I film. I get their license plate, and then I'm just got like the adrenaline of like the chase. So I jump out of my car
Whoa.
in the middle of the intersection, and I run up to the window, and I'm still filming. I'm like, I bang on their window. I'm like, hey, you just hit my car. And then this lady looks up at me, and she just gives me a thumbs up. Like, yeah, I did. And I was like, fuck. So then the light turns green, and I'm like, she's about to drive off. So then I jump in front of her car.
You did?
I jump in front of her car, and I'm like, you're not going anywhere.
Like a vigilante.
Yeah,
You're like a superhero. You're like Batman.
basically.
Well, not really.
This woman could have run you over.
Well, so I jump in
Technically,
front
she
of
did.
Yeah.
Once
So I
already.
jump in front of her car, and I'm like, you're not going anywhere. I'm calling the cops. And so she's sitting there, and she's yelling at me to get out of the way, saying she has to go pick someone up. I'm like, no. And
What is the deal with some people?
well, so then, and like, I call 911, but it connects to the Bluetooth in my car.
Oh my god.
And so I'm like, hello? I'm like, Is there no one there? I'm like trying to figure out why.
Your brain's not working.
Yeah, because I'm also at this point. She's yelling at me to get out of the way.
intersection in the middle of the night in front of someone.
Yeah, and I'm yelling, and then all of a sudden she's yelling at me to get out of the way. I'm like, no, I'm not getting out of the way. You're gonna stay there. So then she's trying to like navigate, and all of a sudden I'm like figuring out what to do with my phone, and then I hear a smash, and I look up. She's hit the front of my car.
She backed into it.
She backed into the front of my car.
Holy shit!
And I'm like, you just hit my car again, and she's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you did. So then I'm like, I like hang up on my phone. I call 911 again, but this time I figure out like what's going on. So I call. I'm like, 911's like, all right, we're on our way.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, all right, cool. We're at this intersection. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm on the phone 911, and at this point, I'm like, the adrenaline of like, she's also like pushing me with her car, so I'm like, she's gonna run me over.
Like she's doing the thing where she's rolling forward.
Yeah,
pushing?
and just like pushing me. And I'm like, the cops are on their way. You better pull over. She's like, all right, I'm pulling over. I'm like, you better pull over.
Did you use that voice?
I don't remember.
Did you have Batman voice?
Use the voice. Use the voice.
Pull over the car. And then I'm also like, I feel like I look crazy because I'm the dude standing in the middle of the intersection yelling and screaming with my car.
Fair.
My car doors, like my doors open. I'm like, I look pretty crazy. So I'm like, I should like. So I get in my car, and then like I'm on the phone 911. I'm like, yeah, we're pulling over. The light turned, and she's like, we'll just be over at the corner of this intersection. Light turns green, and she guns it. I'm like, never mind, we're on the move again. And
We're on the move again.
Like you're part of the cop force.
And the 911
I need reinforcements.
The 911 operator's like, where are you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm chasing her down. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm chasing her. It's like, we don't know where to take. We're like, I'll tell you in a minute. And I'm like chasing her. And I'm like, it's phase 2 of the race. And then, but then she like turns down like a tiny little little like road right by a gas station. I'm like, screech, chase after her. And then I swear it was like out of a movie.
Screech, was that an onomatopoeia? That's what your car did?
Screech.
Or were you Screech from Saved by the Bell? In this?
I mean, both. But like then a big truck carrying like garbage pulls out right in front of me. And so I couldn't pat at this point. I'm like
she got through.
Yeah,
You
she's
didn't?
like the perfect getaway.
I know. And then she got away. And then so I'm like, well, all right. I called 911 again. I'm like, all right, I'm here.
The garbage truck pulled like perfectly
Like I
between you
swear
guys.
to God, it was like
That's like a movie.
Yeah. And then so then they come and I give them all this stuff, and then I don't hear anything for a while because it's like around Christmas and stuff. And I'm like, well, they're gonna, my car. I'm like driving this busted car. You saw my car. I think y'all all saw my car.
I did.
I also feel
I had a funny story about your car, actually.
I feel like hit and runs too are very low priority for cops.
Yeah, well, but I had video.
Everything.
I had
In
video
Austin.
and their license plate had all this shit. And then so finally I get a phone call from the cops, and they're like, hey, we think we found the person. We want to see if you can come in and do a lineup. And I'm like, a lineup? This sounds yeah. So I was like super jazzed about it. I'm like, I can't wait to do this. I've seen Usual Suspects, right? And,
Did you bring like a Coke?
Yeah.
Popcorn? Were y'all excited?
So I scheduled it like at lunch. I was like, I'll go during lunch and just like do my lineup. It'll be so cool. And I go up and then like do my thing, and I show up, and I'm like, they take me into this like room with no windows. I'm like, where's the lineup? And they're like, oh, it's not like we don't do it with like that's just in the movies.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, we're just gonna show you a bunch of pictures, and then you point out who it is. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll do it. Fine.
Were you able to identify the person?
Yeah, I was like,
You thought you could make them like say stuff too, like say this line, like that kind of thing.
No,
Say you have to pick someone up.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, yeah, that's her. Yeah. I don't know if I should. Maybe it's. I think it's an ongoing case because I got a call from a prosecutor recently.
Well, when did it happen?
It happened in December,
Oh, okay.
but
Damn.
I think they're just prosecuting her now
Yeah.
because I got a phone call the other
Probably
day.
ongoing.
Yeah. Anyway, so don't mention that to me.
I do like though
It's just between us.
the old school lineups though. They used to like have the perp, the suspect in there, and then they would have other people to like kind of pat it out, like people from the station or just like actors.
Whoever's
doing it.
around, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd have been great. Like if you'd gone and you recognized like a local actor.
I would have.
What if it was like someone from Rooster Teeth, like answered a casting call? You're like, wait, I work with that person. Like, that one right there, number 3, take him in. No. That's Blaine.
Wait, no. I didn't do it.
I think Blaine's only legal responsibility in those situations is to explain how John Reisinger isn't gay. Isn't that what Blaine, that's what Blaine does in court, right? That's his whole
that they're
function.
not in a relationship.
That they're not in a relationship.
Here, I want to read this thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is also brought to you by. So I want to segue a little bit here on
Me
Chris's
too.
story.
Nespresso is overrated.
Okay, no. Hand me a beer. I want to tell a story about Chris's car. So I think
It's the Batmobile,
A day, okay, the Batmobile.
because I'm a vigilante now.
It's a
Yeah,
Honda.
you're like,
It's a-
it's not a good vigilante. You're like if Batman had no money and no training, basically.
It's a Hyundai.
And his parents are still alive. There's like literally no origin story.
So,
But he could do
I
the
think
voice.
like a day or two after that happened.
One day, Bruce Wayne was hit by a car from behind.
Spider Factory.
Both ends.
I saw you in the parking lot by your car, and I could see the damage on your car. And I was like, "What happened?" And I pointed to it, and you're like, "Oh, it was wild." And you kind of like give me a quick version of the story. I was like, "Yeah, that's crazy." And I turned and looked at your car, and the second I looked at your car, like the fender just like boom, like popped out and fell off. And I was like, that's perfect comedic timing. And you're like, oh, I just put it back on. You seemed so defeated when it fell off.
I drove it for like 3 months with the.
It was like that for a long fucking time.
Yeah, from like until I got it fixed in March.
Didn't you say you drove to like
I drove to Mississippi with it.
Mississippi?
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
to I wired it up and taped it up with duct tape. It looked really bad.
Here's the good news, Chris, that never goes away in life. I was sitting in my office and Barb comes in and she goes, "Hey, your charging port is open on your car." And I go, "Okay, thanks." And I was like, "A charging port? How would she even know that it's open? It's this tiny little port in the back. How would she notice that?" And I go, "My charging port's open?" This is you, right, Barb? I go, "My charging port open?" You go, "Yeah, the front of your car, it's open."
No, this wasn't me.
I said, "You? Who was it?"
Another
We're gonna find out
white female.
who Bernie thinks you are.
Allie?
It was a while ago. I
Ellie?
don't think it was Allie. It might have been Ellie. Might have been Ellie.
Was it British Barbara?
It was British Barbara. Wasn't Canada like technically part of the British Commonwealth?
yeah.
Anyway, so this
We're
other
all
person who
British.
wasn't clearly Barbara was saying, "Yeah, your charging port's open." And I said, "What do you mean my charging port's open?" I go, "How did you even notice that?" And they said, "This is open. It's in the front. It's the front's open of your car." I go, "My front of my car is open?" And they said, "Yeah, the front part where you charge is that where you charge it is open." I go, "What are you talking about?" I go out there and look. Literally, the front end of my car had fallen off. It was just like, I have the older body style for Tesla. Mine's like 5 or 6 years old at this point, and it has like that plastic nose cone. I don't know how else to describe it on the front. That was just off and then down, and it was like hanging by the sensor cords, like for the little sensors. It was just hanging by that. I was like, "The fuck is that?" And I just lifted it up, and pushed it back on, and it was totally fine. And when I was taking it for service next time, I asked them to look at it, and they go, "Yeah, okay,
It happens.
it's okay." But then the other day, like less than 2 weeks ago, I was with JD. We go to the car wash. And we're getting the car wash, and the light says green to go after the whole thing. And JD goes, "Hold on." He goes, "What is that?" And there's my fucking front of my car, like 12 feet in front of the car, and then just on the ground spinning
my
like this.
God.
And I was like, what in the world? So JD had to hop out in the car wash and like run up and grab it and was holding it while I drove out so that we could clear the way for the people behind us. And it was like, then I had to, I just reattached those sensors and then put the nose cone back on, and it was
That
totally
doesn't
fine
seem like
again.
that should work.
It
Or
definitely,
happen.
or it shouldn't be calibrated.
Right, it's like it needs to have a recalibration after that.
Totally fine. My auto drive works even with my like
Does
DIY.
it? It's like auto drive works. It just goes down the middle of the line now.
Hey, can I say something?
No.
Tesla, they make a big deal about the auto drive stuff. I rented a Kia when I went to Rochester to go see my aunt. I rented a Kia something. I don't know what it was. I can look it up. But it was a new one. It had like 200 miles on it from Hertz. That one had lane assist. It was the exact same thing as auto drive.
You've also got Autopilot 1.
Well, is yours better? Like,
Yeah,
what does
I'm on
yours do?
2.5.
But what does it do? Can you turn corners and stuff?
It detects red lights now.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Your mom
and-
would do that.
They're gonna upgrade all. Well, I paid for the upgrade to hardware 3, so they're gonna once hardware 3 comes, it'll turn corners and everything.
I'm not saying it, by the way, like a competitive thing, like, Tesla should have this and other people don't. And people, I'm saying it's a great thing.
No, everyone should have.
This
yeah.
was an entry level, I felt like, economy car, maybe like one level up from an economy car. And it had this feature in it. And I was like, this is really fucking cool. This is really making its way into every vehicle, which will be fucking great.
Yeah,
Every new vehicle.
Tesla had a full self-driving day, where they answered like investor questions a couple weeks ago, and I was super excited to watch it. And it was the most boring thing in the world. It was a very
Good.
It was a very technical discussion
Good.
about the hardware and about like how they approach processing and the technology that they use. It was like, here's the design of the CPU, like here's the way we run it, and I was like, wow, it's just super dry.
Here, I always make this point whenever we talk about autonomous driving of like, it's just the adoption. People have to be comfortable with it. There are people to this day who will not make a deposit a check at an ATM.
Are
you one of those people?
You turned me on that. I wouldn't do it. You brought me around on it.
People are slow on technology.
won't you?
They don't trust it, Barbara. They don't trust they can make a deposit there. They can make a withdrawal, but they will not put a check into an ATM.
What happens if
What
it-
about on your phone?
Well, if you still have the check, like if you deposit a check at an ATM, you're trusting that it doesn't get lost or shredded or stolen.
Yeah, but there's still that electronic.
We're also now like 12 years beyond where we had this conversation.
Oh,
But the
wow,
thing, it's
okay.
like people are just slow to adopt stuff, but I hear that all the time with the self-driving cars. It's like people are like super pro technology, have smartphones in their pockets, PCs at home, internet savvy. Then you bring up a self-driving car, they go, "I don't trust that. I would never trust that car."
We were just in Vegas, and when you ordered a Lyft or Uber, it said, "Are you okay with having?" I don't know what they called it, but it was basically a self-driving car. But
Is it
there would still be-
autonomous?
autonomous
Yeah,
car, but
totally.
there would still be a person in the
There has to
car.
be.
We went to lunch a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
And it was you, me, and I think Eric. Was in the car as well. And it drove itself most of the time. Like when,
which I had no idea.
yeah, when it finally disengaged when we got there, I think one of you asked, like, what was that sound? I was like, oh, that was the car telling me that it's not driving anymore, that I have to take over.
And I was like, it was driving that whole fucking time
Yeah.
on the highway, changing lanes, doing all that stuff.
Yeah, going from one highway to another.
That's crazy.
I can't wait.
I should get in yours and try it.
It's really crazy.
Because I had a Tesla previously. I had that blue one, and then I
Oh,
traded.
yeah,
I traded for
forgot
this
about
one. I got the blue one in 2003. No, 2011. 2011, I got that car. And then
No,
this one
not
I got.
that early.
Yeah, and this one I got 2013. I've had this one, sir. What? Hey, Gus
You
is
had
here.
your truck in 2011,
I still have my truck. JD drives it.
but you were driving your truck still. Because that's
Yeah.
when I came to start working at Rishi's and you had your truck
Right.
there
That's
every day.
that's exactly the time I switched it because
Oh.
it was the year I got divorced. That's when I got the nice car.
Gotcha.
And then they announced the auto drive stuff, and they told me that my car would not have the stuff to go fully auto drive, but the new hardware would. So it's like, this is like the most important thing to me. So I made the choice to switch up to the next one. And then 2 years later, they were like, oh, no, those can't go
Yeah, that
fully
won't
drive.
go.
Now these new ones can go fully drive. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, they
You're good.
switched technologies that they were using for it.
How does the car know the speed limits? I got
think
this debate with somebody the other day.
It's it imports the data from Google Maps.
So it is GPS, basically.
Yes. That's why, like, if you're on 51st over here,
Yeah.
eastbound between I-35 and the office, it thinks that the speed limit's 30, even though the speed limit's 40.
That's annoying.
I'm pretty sure mine's optical, so we should test that.
Okay, yeah, because mine is like it always says 30, and then if you're doing like auto drive stuff, it doesn't let you go too much faster than the speed limit. It's like I never use it on this stretch because it goes too slow.
Did you see that Elon Musk responded to Jack's tweet?
I
Did you
did
see
see
that
that.
this weekend?
Really?
Yeah.
I saw it.
What was
Yeah.
Jack's tweet? SpaceX?
He
About
Something about Ted.
said standardizing like his Tesla car so that whoever's key it is, it'll
Change the
like,
seat.
custom seat for him. You know,
It'll-
But they do that.
It'll auto assign driver profile based on ours is different because of the phone.
Right. Mine will do that. But it was a feature that they added.
Mhm.
So if I walk up with my key fob, because Ashley is like 5'2", or I don't know how tall she is, 5'3",
I think she's 5'3".
5'3". She's probably 5'6".
There you are.
Happy birthday, Ashley. Yeah, that's exactly what Jack's describing there. We're looking at Jack's tweet. When I get in after her, I get my knees in my chest if I forget to swap profiles, because you have to do it from the center console. I was thinking it would be great to either have it on the door, like a lot of cars have, or do it automatically, and they update it so it just does it automatically. When I walk up, it's like I can watch my seat go back.
Yeah, you can enable easy entry, but he's talking about just having the profile set up automatically.
It's pretty cool because then JD, when he learned to drive on my car, and we just made a profile for him so he would get in and just hit JD and then put all his stuff in the exact same position that he had before, that he got used to. Very helpful.
Yeah, it's great. I got another thing I want to read here.
Go for it.
Remind everyone, this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is also brought to you by. So I want to bring something up you talked about a few weeks ago, Bernie.
No, and people are saying that active lane assist is not the same thing as self-driving. I'm telling you, I had this Kia, and I noticed that it had these features because when I went to go change lanes, there was resistance to it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Feels like there's like auto drive on this thing." And so I then set it up, got in a lane, and then went, and then I just kind of like did the thing where you kind of hover your hands over the steering wheel, and the road took a curve, and it just went right along with it, and it just made the curve along with it.
Wow.
Fucking
That's
great.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a stressful weekend, but I don't remember if it would slow down for cars in front of it. I want to say yes.
I think that's a common thing, like adaptive cruise control. Is what they normally call that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like two features. Lane assist plus adaptive cruise control basically means auto drive.
Yeah. Well, not quite. It helps.
But your car's not quite either because your car won't do the stuff that is actually auto drive. Like you can't get in a Tesla, punch it in address, and it just goes there. That's auto drive. It won't make a 90-degree turn.
Is that
for
not what you
instance.
did?
It will on highways, but not on city streets.
Gotcha.
Right. Like you can't get to a red light and say, I'm supposed to take a right here. I'm on 51st and I want to take a right on Lamar.
As part of
won't
their
do that.
as part of their full self-driving demo day the other day, they did show cars. They did show Model 3s doing that.
Point A to point B.
Yes.
Yes. It's capable of doing it. They just don't do it because as soon as one of those cars hits somebody, it's going to be
There's regulation
legislation
to get through
Yeah.
and all this stuff. So
Is there regulation or there's a lack of regulation?
right, there's regulation that they need to figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with insurance companies. Insurance companies aren't going to let that fly. Like, who's liable at that point?
Right.
Who's going to pay for it?
But God bless Tesla. I'm giving them a little bit of a hard time right now. God bless them. They're pushing the envelope on this stuff and somebody needs to.
Yeah, as long as it
It
gets
is
moved forward.
safe. It is safer. It
Yes.
is safer.
It is safe because
Yeah.
People are surprisingly
bad.
well. They're good and bad. Like, there's a lot of input you have to take as a human driver. There's a lot that you pay attention. You would think that we couldn't concentrate on all those things at once, but you practice over time. But then the problem is you get complacent with it,
Oh man.
and then you kind of take it for granted.
Think about it. Chris would not be a superhero if that
I
woman
know,
had that car. Because they would have stopped and not hit his car.
A few weeks ago, you said something.
Like Elon Musk invented better enclosures for radioactive spiders. It's the same thing.
You said we should talk about the Spider-Man trailer in a bit. You said
I don't watch trailers.
you don't. You don't?
I'm gonna watch Spider-Man. Why would I watch the trailer?
I feel like
I don't watch.
That-
I don't watch next week on Game of Thrones either.
I feel like those are two different arguments, two different sides, where people who are big fans of stuff either love watching trailers and teases for stuff or absolutely avoid them at all costs.
Go back and watch the Thor Ragnarok trailer. It's every fucking major moment.
I
from
watched
that
it. It didn't
movie.
ruin the movie for me in any way, shape, or form.
That's true.
I mean, not even plot wise or anything, but you know you're going to see it, right?
did the Spider-Man trailer. It came out today, right?
Yes.
How did I feel like I've seen it before.
They had a teaser before.
They did have another trailer for this
I was
movie.
like, did I dream this?
I do have a quick question about Spider-Man before you move on. Oh no, I can't. No, we can't talk about Endgame yet.
Let's.
oh, we're getting close. Why not?
Can we do a poll if we just talk about Endgame or not?
It's the last 10 minutes of the podcast.
I want to say too.
The ban is lifted, but I also
today.
still respect our audience and people who haven't
We're
seen
gonna
it.
we're gonna talk about Endgame. So if you haven't seen Endgame, fuck off.
In a bit, we'll have a lower third. And
No,
you'll
right
know.
now, get the hell out.
You'll know.
You've taken 2 weeks to watch
No,
the
I have
movie.
something else I want to talk about first.
All right, fine.
Okay, well, I'll save my question for.
A few weeks ago, you said
Bruce Banner.
you would drink 3-day-old coffee.
Yeah,
That you don't care.
I don't care.
Coffee's coffee.
Coffee's coffee.
There's 3-day-old coffee behind you.
Where? Oh, nobody. By the way, nobody noticed our Game of Thrones reference that we did today, where we put coffee cups all over our table. We thought that was really funny, and nobody has called it out.
Where is it, Eric? Oh, there it is.
Where is it? Can I microwave it? Because I would microwave it.
You want me to microwave it?
Yeah, can you microwave it for like a minute? So where is this? How is it 3 days old?
Eric made it on Friday, and he put it up there on the set with a lid, because that's what you said.
Yeah, with a lid.
You want me to microwave it?
me see.
You don't want to just drink it? Drink it, drink it, drink it.
Oh, God. Oh.
It's totally fine.
Yeah,
That
it's
cup?
because it's water
What do you say about the cup?
and
Look at that. Looks fucking disgusting.
It's fine.
So
Here, go
microwave it,
Go
though. Microwave it.
it's coffee.
It's coffee.
It is just like dirty water. That's what coffee is.
Good call, Chris.
It got coffee bean flakes in it.
Ugh.
I respect
3 day
that.
old is a lot. That's a lot. I do a day old.
I've
at my
had
house.
2 day old.
Yeah.
I just reheated it.
Iced coffee is just dirty coffee or old coffee, right?
No,
Isn't it? It's just old
Not
coffee.
Cold brew.
Oh, that's
Like if you had water in a water bottle, when does that water go bad for you? 12 hours later?
It's later than that.
I have these
I
little-
assume you like take a drink. You're talking about hypothetical situation.
I'll tell you, like a water bottle from the gym.
You open up a water bottle.
You filled it from the tap,
Okay, so it's like a reusable water bottle.
Yeah.
reusable water bottle.
You take a drink out of it, put it down.
Yes.
screw the lid back on.
I'm talking about the kind where you like push the button, drink
Oh.
out of.
All mine have lids.
I don't know, a few days.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
This is what's the difference between that and coffee. What's coffee?
It's still not sealed.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's got a lid on it.
It's got a lid on it with a giant hole for you to put your filthy mouth on.
I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, totally
I'm
fine.
with you.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we start talking about Endgame?
Yes.
Do we have a lower third? We're talking about Endgame.
Endgame spoilers.
This is not a spoiler, but I want to say this. I want to respond to something because last week people were like, "Why aren't they talking about Endgame? I'm not going to watch." Because that's exactly why. There seems to be different rules for TV shows versus movies. Where a TV show, it's on at a certain time and everyone can watch it. There's not a limited capacity of who
Right.
can watch it. So if you don't watch it, it's on you. But Endgame, it's a limited capacity. It only shows at certain times, and there's only so many seats available.
It's also 3 hours long.
It's also 3 hours long.
Big time commitment.
And it's also got to pay to go see it too. And some people get paid at different times. And going to movies is not fucking cheap anymore, that's for sure. So that's why we didn't do it. But it's the same attitude too. It's like, it's the exact opposite. If we started saying Endgame and started talking about it, we'd have a shitload of people that would tune out. I don't like the fact that after something's out, we can't fucking talk about it because of spoiler culture. And I'm definitely, I got a week. That's all you get from me is a week.
Okay.
I felt
You
like
get 2 weekends.
the internet was really good about not spoiling Endgame.
But not Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, they were like, blah,
Oh yeah,
blah,
they
blah,
go
blah.
right away.
Because I didn't see Endgame until the Tuesday after it came out.
Which you didn't mention on the podcast that you
didn't.
hadn't seen it yet
I
because you don't
intentionally
want the
mentioned-
chat to fuck it up.
And last Monday, I did not look at chat at all, just to be safe.
Because there's a lot of things people could have spoiled, and it would honestly ruin the experience.
Oh, here comes the coffee.
So,
Thanks, boss.
question for you: we're now talking about Endgame spoilers.
This is it.
So if you're
Spoilers.
listening and you haven't seen it, close the podcast now. They come back after getting
Did you microwave with the lid on?
No.
Okay. The
After-
plastic actually worries more than the old coffee.
the Hulk does the snap with the gauntlet,
yeah.
and the people come back, and they have this whole montage of people coming back and all this stuff. This is later in the movie, and Peter Parker's back at school and sees Ned. Shouldn't Ned be 5 years older?
No. So you corrected something that I thought about the movie too. Let me explain why that could be. If Ned got snapped as well, they've both come back to a world where people are 5 years older, and when they see each other in the hallway, it's a relief that both of them are still the same age.
Oh, I assume Ned was not snapped and Peter Parker was.
You 100% get that vibe watching it.
Yeah.
But there could be the explanation that Ned was also snapped. We don't know.
And yeah, we'll
That would make
know
sense.
once we see the movie. I assume they'll address that.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That was
Because
bothering me
If they're
for a
going to stay the same age, they must have both been snapped.
I
right?
thought, Ant-Man seeing his daughter
Every major character.
after being gone for 5 years, like I thought that was a great moment where he's like, "You're so big." Like
Yeah.
how do you address like you haven't seen your child for 5 years?
Especially that age. What was she, 12 when he
Yeah,
left? Or
something
11?
like that.
She was like 9. She had like Thomas the Tank Engine stuff in the first Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Right?
and then in the next one, she was like, what, like
You're a little older.
8?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a great way to wrap everything up. I think we all
I got a problem.
we all speculated
Got a problem.
that there would be time travel involved.
No, I didn't at all.
Okay, I felt like that was a common theory. A lot of
I
people,
was actually really surprised they
lot of people
did a
speculate
time
that.
travel story as their big wrap up. I was like, that's fucking risky.
It was great to see them revisit moments in old movies
It was.
Yeah.
until they got to Dark World. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go back to Guardians of the Galaxy. Awesome. We're gonna go back and see.
I feel like Big Lebowski Thor
Dude, how can you
made
say
up
that?
for that, though.
and then it's like, oh, Dark World. Okay.
There's so many great things in it, though. Like the Renee Russo scene where she knows that
No, no.
Thor's from the future.
It ended up being
Yeah.
great, but I was like, oh, Dark World. Like all the other movies are really great.
You want to know the really
That's
funny
what
thing
I went
about
back
that is that at the end of the movie, Captain America has to go and return all the stones to their time. He's got to go to the Red Skull and go, hey,
Yeah.
hey. And Red Skull's like, wait, where'd you come from? He's like, oh, we used the stones to snap everybody back from death. And Red Skull would have been like, did I get the snap? Like, nah, fuck you, bye. And then but then he's got to go back to Dark World and go up to Natalie Portman and go like, jab. He's got to re-inject her
Take it
with
back.
the red.
The ether?
Yeah, the aether or
You
whatever
know
it
what's
is. Yeah.
crazy if you go back and watch
The Reality Stone.
if you go back and watch Infinity War during that Soul Stone scene where Gamora gets thrown off the cliff by Thanos, if you look
Spoiler.
shut the fuck up. If you look at the rock that she falls on, you actually see Natasha's blood on the rock where she fell.
Same kind of blood.
Wait, really?
Same pattern?
Yeah, you see her blood pattern.
Because she's in the past, but doesn't that defy
then-
their
Wait,
past
that-
and change
that
the
is-
future?
Because
Because she would have died before.
it would have stopped
So
that from
Natasha's
happening.
blood would have been in there.
There's blood on the rock.
No, it wouldn't.
No,
have,
it wouldn't have, because they put it back in place. So Thanos still does the snap.
Right.
They didn't stop him from doing the first snap.
The
They just
Gamora you
corrected it.
get is the past Gamora who's now in the future. You don't.
That's right.
You don't bring her back. Right.
Okay, yeah.
But then past Gamora leaves her timeline and never ends up on Voromir with Thanos. Right?
But
Hold on.
well, they address that when they say that. Yeah, everyone needs a fucking hat for this. That you can't. That it's like Back to the Future style time travel. That your current self can't change the past for your future self.
What-
Right. I get what you're saying. So why would the blood from Natasha be there?
Right? No, I'm saying
That violates that.
that it doesn't seem to make sense.
Because the blood from Natasha kind of exists in its own timeline. It wouldn't exist in the Gamora Infinity
and it
War
would have
timeline.
been
Unless it was
after that.
someone else's blood, but it was
could
where
have been
she
someone
fell.
Assuming somebody else got
It's
the Soul Stone.
it's where she fell. So I don't know how they explain that.
I think they missed an opportunity to put Captain America in Endgame.
What do you mean?
Because he has to go back to all the events. Like, so there's a point which Captain America is fighting Captain America.
Yeah, great scene.
America's ass.
Then there's another Captain America who's also was just there putting the stone back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's 3 Captain Americas.
Is he because
It would have been after they took it. He would have had to.
no? Because where do they get? Because they lose the Tesseract.
Yeah,
which
to
stone,
Loki.
Which stone is he getting at? Which stone is Captain America
The
getting?
Mind
at that time?
Stone. So
The
that
Mind Stone.
one scene has 2 stones in it. It's got the Tesseract
Right.
and it's got his scepter, which is weird because the scepter's blue,
Right.
but the stone is yellow.
Right.
That's one of the weird inconsistencies with it, or it's just a representation
Okay,
thing.
so
Wait, but then
So Captain America had to come back with
take it.
the Tesseract,
The-
not the Tesseract, because that was from the Howard Stark stuff. He came back at least with the Mind Stone.
right, the Hail Hydra stuff.
Yes.
That he had that.
He had to come,
Blood.
and that's Natalie Portman's blood?
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
Portman, sorry. Well, that's a big spoiler. Sorry.
Natasha.
It's Lily Seed. That's how Black Widow,
Widow.
Scarlett Johansson's blood.
I don't
It's a
know.
Green
I don't know
Gamora.
what it means.
But then
Well, it just
wait,
means
wait.
she died there. On the
But if he took oh wait, they went further back into the past before they had lost it. Never mind.
I actually think the Red Skull thing could come into play because theory. This is all theory. When Captain America goes back to turn in the Soul Stone to put it back where it was, I think it revives
Oh.
Natasha.
Peter H in chat says Cap put it back in the 60s.
He put the Tesseract
Right, that's
back
the
in the
Tesseract.
60s.
You're right.
He put the Tesseract. The Mind Stone he still had to take back to New York in 2013.
But did he
or
go
whatever.
back? Didn't they also take the Mind Stone in the 60s?
Can
as
we-
well? Or did they only get that?
No, the Tesseract is what they took in the 60s. Cap got it. That's why he was fighting the other Cap.
Yeah.
Because he got the scepter. And then he used the scepter on the old Cap, the original Cap. He tapped him on the chest.
Why did they separate in the 60s? Tony Stark leaves, goes, he gets the Tesseract.
I don't know. They didn't explain that. They were in the elevator.
The pin particles. you're
particles,
Captain Mark
That's right.
went to get the pin particles.
Listen, I gotta say, there's another inconsistency here. Barb kind of explained it to me, but let me see if you guys explain it the same way.
Oh.
I don't like when they set up very clear rules and then they immediately violate them themselves for no reason whatsoever. Like I complained last week in Game of Thrones. My problem was Arya Stark is set up as this super stealthy character who can kill the Night King. Sorry for mixing spoilers here. Fuck you. You should have watched it. But then a scene earlier, they had her in a library where she couldn't get past like grunt level whites who were wandering around. She was not stealthy.
I
in
think
that
it's
scene.
because after the red woman kind of reminds her of who she
Right,
is.
she had a concussion, but then the red woman said, "You're an assassin," and so that fucking cured her concussion. Apparently,
I rewatched that and actually have something to say about that.
Go ahead.
So she was actually silent and stealthy around them. If you remember, she was so quiet that the
Drops of blood.
The White Walkers are alerted to the drops of blood because the
Correct.
sound of blood dropping is louder than she's being.
Yeah.
I
So she
don't
was
think
silent.
the overall impression from that scene is that she was in control and that she was stealthily getting between everybody very easily. It seemed like she was in panic mode and she was unable to escape from that library. Am I wrong in thinking that?
Yes.
I felt different watching it the second
It just
time.
seems weird they would have that scene right before they have her in a super stealthy scene. Likewise, bringing it back to Endgame, what's the rules about the time travel? What's the rules with
don't
Pym?
think too much about it.
That's one of the rules.
I mean,
But they have a mechanic to it. They have to go back to the 60s because they can only go one way one time
They have
because
Pym
They're limited on
particles.
pin particles.
they're limited on Pym particles because Pym is snapped, right? So they go back and they get a bunch of Pym particles. But in the conversation where they're explaining that, Ant-Man says, look, we only have enough for a one-way trip and 2 test runs. And then he goes, shrink, boom, and then gets big again. And he goes, 1 test run.
He doesn't.
But he shrinks and grows all the time.
But he might not have been shrinking. He might have like zapped to a previous time. That's what I got from that.
That's I
That's what
got
Barbara
the,
said. I did not get that. So see, in that moment, when he said test runs, he just did a test run.
right.
Like he went to another time and then came back.
But they weren't ready. They weren't observing it
Okay.
and testing
It was
it.
an
It was like an
accidental.
accidental.
Yeah.
Right, because he seemed pissed about it.
Yeah.
But it's either a test run or the Pym particles are what help him grow and shrink and can be used up, which they are. We know that from the Ant-Man
probably
movies.
not to the extent needed for time travel.
It's like a little bit of a use the full tank
Yeah.
to do a time travel.
Use a little sprinkling rather than an entire.
Yeah, what I got was it was a quick time travel that
Yeah.
was like unplanned. It was accidental.
Yeah.
but he used the whole thing.
Right.
Or it could have been a long one. He could have been gone 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know.
Who knows?
Came popping back in.
What
Here's my
were-
real problem with Endgame.
I was gonna ask what your favorite moments were first.
Bruce Banner doesn't wear glasses. The Hulk doesn't wear glasses. Why does Smart Hulk wear glasses?
Because he's older now. His 5 years have passed.
It's the Hulk, but that's not. You don't wear glasses because you're 5 years old.
Hey, did you get reading? Did you get readers?
You have
recently?
reading glasses? I'm wearing reading glasses. He's wearing fucking gigantic Warby Parkers or whatever. All I'm saying is it's because they want you to know that he's Smart Hulk.
You had LASIK and you're still wearing glasses.
He's a fucking gamma scientist,
Does
dude.
Bruce Banner not wear glasses?
He does not. He's wearing. In fact, I can point out a scene that illustrates he doesn't wear glasses. Thor gives him glasses that are Tony's in Ragnarok, and he puts them on. And he says, "I think there's a scene in the first Avengers where he's working in the lab on Loki's scepter.
Yeah,
in
he has glasses there.
The helicarrier. I think he's got glasses on in that. But Bruce Banner does not wear glasses.
Maybe he wears.
And the Hulk
Maybe
does
he
not
wears
wear glasses.
contact
Maybe he wears
lenses.
contacts.
Yeah, that's the scene I'm talking about. That's the scepter scene.
Maybe
So
he
he
wears
must
contacts.
wear contacts.
Yeah, and
then-
maybe the people who could make contacts all got snapped, and they can't have contacts in that world anymore.
Or they don't make like dinner plate size
Yeah.
contact lenses for the Hulk.
Favorite moments.
I think
He doesn't wear glasses. Look at any other
Probably-
picture. Look up Bruce Banner on Google image search and see if he comes up with glasses.
when Captain America's fighting Captain America,
Yeah.
and says, "I can do this all day," and he's like, "I know,
I know.
I know."
Yeah.
Kind of exaggerated.
everything in that scene was great.
There were so many wonderful Captain America moments. I think one of my favorites is when he wields the hammer.
Oh yeah, for
was
sure.
Oh God.
And the that was like I still get chills even just talking about that scene. And also the Hail Hydra. I love the
that
way
was
they
so
handled that. Love the way they handled that because there's that
The comic.
the comic book
Yeah.
where he says that and like to provide context for that in a different way.
I think it was in an elevator as well
Yeah.
in the comic, maybe. Yeah.
I believe so. That was perfect. Perfect.
But yeah, the fight where he's got the hammer, like his shield gets all fucked up, and
There was a theory where it was Age of Ultron, right, where he tries to lift
where he
the
moves
hammer,
it. Yeah.
and it moves, and then Thor kind of has that moment of like panic, and then he like gives up. There was a theory I saw where Captain America realized he actually could move the hammer, but didn't think that was the appropriate time to
Right.
show that he could.
I think I read that.
Or
think
I read
that.
too that it was maybe like a humble thing of like, oh, I don't want to show this guy up. Like
Yeah.
he's not trying to like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And don't they have a moment in the fight where like they get their weapons mixed, and Thor's like, "No, give me the bigger one."
Oh, the big one, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
really
get why
funny.
they did it in Ultron, but it would have been better for that moment, a little bit better if Vision had not been able to lift it. You know?
yeah.
And it's kind of the same moment too when he's fighting with Ultron and he's vamping with Ultron. And then he's like he says, he goes, I can't keep distracting him this long, just do something. And then the Vision hits him with the hammer. It's like right at the end of Ultron when they're fighting over the Sokovia reactor.
It was a really good moment when Vision picked it up, though. That was
It
such a good way of
proves-
demonstrating
Yes.
how strong Vision is. But then he's a complete pussy, and
Or that he's a noble person. He's not a villain because he's made from the Mind Stone.
okay,
Yeah, I think at
I
that
think
point,
it was to show he's worthy, right?
I think at that point they were still trying to figure out what Vision was in the movie, right? Like whether or not they could trust him
Yeah.
yeah,
when
right.
he picks it up.
It's to demonstrate in one moment this is a trustworthy character. Nobody else, no other Avenger can lift this thing, but this guy's worthy enough to do it. Like I had the feeling if you could lift Mjolnir, it wouldn't be heavy at all.
Right.
You know, it'd have some heft to it, but it's not the
you
weight of it.
You wouldn't exert yourself.
It's something beyond weight. I love when they use that mechanic too, like in Ragnarok when he puts it in the dragon's mouth and it
Oh,
like
yeah.
clank. And doesn't he put it on Loki's chest
yeah,
to hold him
in
still?
the first
Yeah.
Thor,
Yeah.
in the first Thor, he just sets it down. It's like, you stay here.
Yeah, but it's not like crushing him. It's just
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can't get up because it's on him.
I was really hoping Loki would secretly still be alive. Like he disguised himself as someone else.
I mean,
See, that's
I
why
mean,
I think
he could be, but I feel like they would have revealed that this movie if it was true.
or they might have. He might be back because of the snap.
No, he
no,
was
'cause
not
he
killed
died
by the snap.
He died before the snap.
Yeah, but they could have brought him back with. The
Nope.
snap.
they said they only brought people back from the snap. They made a point about that, and he
Yeah.
did try to bring Nat back.
But she was killed because of the Soul Stone. That would have
Yeah,
been
that's
a
different.
different
My theory is
circumstance.
that she is the Soul Stone.
Well, I
Is
think
Gamora
she's
the
in-
Soul Stone?
They
Yes.
said that she was like in this, like they live inside of it or something. Like their souls are.
A soul for a soul. That's all he said.
So then there are not multiple Soul Stones. Just every soul that has ever been sacrificed for the Soul Stone resides within the Soul Stone?
Don't know.
Because it kind of breaks it if it's multiple ones.
Or if it's in there, then a soul for a soul maybe it does hold their souls, but it's like you can't use the Soul Stone to
Unless you lost something?
get rid of the you couldn't use the Soul Stone to snap somebody back who was in the Soul Stone, right? Because you're using the power of the Soul Stone to do it. Although Thanos did use the stones to destroy the stones. I can't say stones.
The Thones.
The stones.
That was a shocking moment
Thanos
early in the
is
movie
Thanos.
where
It was very shocking.
they find Thanos and then they just kill him.
Yeah.
Which is
Immediately.
I read an article. The screenwriters like they had this whole thing where they're like, well, he's this all powerful person that's like unbeatable. Like, how do you make that interesting? And they're like, well, what if they just killed him? And then it's like now they have this a new problem where it's like, how do we?
Yeah, he's not the threat anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy too
Everything
how
else is.
the two Thanoses seem like remarkably different characters? Like when you see Thanos watching himself die, he's like, okay. Like he's totally cool with it. He's like, that's destiny. That's how I'm going to die. Great.
But I think it's because he was successful.
Yeah.
He knew he accomplished the goal.
That's my destiny, and that's destiny fulfilled.
It is insane how overpowered Thanos is in general.
That's why I thought time travel was okay. You already have essentially what is a wish machine.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like if you have that, then you gotta do something with it. But Thanos' thing of like destroying the stones was fucking badass. That's like the fail safe. Nothing you can do. I know you're gonna come for it.
Did you guys see, I think it was in the Rooster Teeth subreddit, that someone had a video of Jeremy showing up to an off-topic panel at RTX, I believe, wearing Iron Man's mask and the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're just like, Jeremy predicted the end of Endgame.
Oh, really?
It's like, holy shit. It's true.
Yeah, that was so when Iron Man dies. Spoiler.
That's too late to say spoiler on that.
So there's that moment where Gwyneth Paltrow's talking to him, and then Peter Parker like comes up and like shoves her aside to talk to Tony Stark. He's like,
Yeah.
Hey, I know your wife's here,
I'm
but
pretty sure that's the opposite.
Me,
I'm pretty
the
sure
teenager.
she shoves him aside.
no, he like pushes. She's talking first, then he kind of like comes in and
think so.
and has his moment with Tony Stark.
I thought,
And then Gwyneth Paltrow then comes back in
Okay.
for for when he finally does die.
and she's like, it's okay.
In the comics, Avengers Ultimate, in that series, that suit she's wearing is the suit he makes for Black Widow. Like they have a relationship in that whatever universe, and yeah, she has a suit, and they're like a duo, and they fight together.
Wait, who?
And everything. Gwyneth Paltrow's suit that she's wearing. It's like a black and blue suit. Yeah, that's in comics it's weird because black and blue kind of like go together. You know, sometimes you can't be sure if something is blue or black because the highlights are all dark blue. Like Superman's hair, it's like there's always those blue highlights in it, just because that's the way they draw highlights in black stuff in comics. But I was super happy with it. The whole time travel thing I thought could have like really fallen flat, but I thought they did a great job with it. I thought that the ending for Tony, I thought what Gwyneth Paltrow says to him is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah,
And Cap's ending is fucking great.
yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. I love it.
Well, they're like the two most like fleshed out, I feel like, of all the characters.
Yeah, they were the leaders, right?
You know,
They were
like
the heads of the Civil War groups, right?
Yeah.
The two factions.
Did you guys cry?
Yeah, the Gwyneth Paltrow thing chokes me up a little bit because she's like, the second time I saw it, it really registered with me because when he's in their cabin or whatever, he's got this great life and he's super happy. And I'm like, I'm in the theater going, dude, just stay there. Just don't go.
He didn't really lose. I guess he lost Peter Parker. That's what
He did.
convinced him to do it.
Yeah, and they showed him that he did see the picture. But when he discovers, because I got it fixed with that Mobius strip model for time travel, he goes, I could just put a pin in this. I could not talk about it. She goes, yeah, but then you'd never be able to rest. And the last thing she says to him is, it's okay, you can rest now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Ashley was just like, the whole time.
I started crying at the Star Wars trailer, and I didn't stop. I didn't stop crying for the next 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Why? Because the Star Wars trailer affected
Well,
you?
just like I get emotional over a lot of things. I'm kind of like getting into the Mariel realm these days. But the second, like anything that has like powerful music and like the way it's just edited all together, like the Star Wars trailer to me is just like perfect in that sense. Like they have such powerful score to it and everything. So and also just like being excited over the movie and knowing like I was going to experience something really cool. I was just emotional already going into the theater. And yeah, then I just didn't stop crying the entire time. But when Cap and Peggy dance, like when he goes back in time and you see them dancing together, I was like,
Guys dance.
I mean, that's how he's
Fuck me
wanted
up.
for like all of the movies
I
the
know.
entire time.
I know, and that's what I think got me the most out of everything.
Did you get the nuance too that Bruce and Falcon are sitting there and they're saying like, okay, we'll know if this works in about 5 seconds. So see you soon. And then Bucky walks up to him and says, I'm going to miss you, man.
Yeah.
Like, because he
He
knows
knew.
what he's about to do. He knows he's going to leave. So it must have filled him in on the plan. And I think Cap says everything's going to be okay.
And there's he hands over the shield to Falcon. I guess kind of making him the next Captain America.
Yeah.
But there is a Falcon and Winter Soldier show coming up that's going to be released on Disney Plus.
No, okay.
So I wonder if that show's going to be about Falcon trying to become Captain America.
A lot of speculation about those things, right? Maybe they called it Falcon and Winter Soldier because they couldn't call it Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Right.
Right? Because maybe now they can just change the name of it.
Yeah.
There was
I
a
don't know,
slate they put up years ago of all the movies and included the oh shit. I can't the name is escaping me now. It's the Eternals or something that they canceled.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like everything was like Captain America's was Captain America versus the Serpent Society and things like that. They were just names that they were kind of placeholder names clearly.
right.
I feel like Falcon's just kind of boring to me.
Falcon's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like
It's okay.
what's
boring.
his name? The Tank Man or what?
Hawkeye's kind of boring too. But
Oh, Hawkeye's terrible.
it was pretty good in this movie. Like
was
starting with him and
better.
his
He was good in
family.
this one. He was.
Yeah.
This is the best movie of
Although
Hawkeye.
I was shocked that he didn't die and Natasha did. In that
I
Soul
was.
Stone.
I was.
I was just like, well, clearly Hawkeye's gone here because no one gives
right.
a fuck
That
about
was a big
Hawkeye.
shock.
I
But then I was
saw-
like, wait, he has a family.
I saw that movie with Esther, and when we left the movie, she talked about that scene in particular. She said it was like watching They Live and watching Roddy Piper trying to put the sunglasses on Keith David. It's like the two of them fighting
Yeah.
to see like who's gonna die. Like each of them wants to die. And it's just like this long drawn out fight. And you're like, what is happening?
yeah.
But it was a big deal to her, the debt that she owed to Clint.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about it before, like the red in her ledger thing. Do you remember that? She
Yeah.
talked about it to Loki
Yeah.
when she tricked him. But it's a real thing with her. I will ask this though: why can anyone pick up an Infinity Stone in this movie?
That's what Trevor kept asking.
Right.
He's like, you're not supposed to be able to touch them barehanded.
I mean, the first time we ever see one in the collector's, like an actual stone, the collector opens up the thing in Guardians and his assistant grabs it and literally explodes. And then at the end of that movie, Peter, who's part God,
They make a big deal out of
big
it.
fucking deal that you can't grab these. But then like the ancient one goes, here's the time stone. And Bruce is like, thanks. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
At least
Let me
have,
just carry this
it wouldn't
over.
take much to have like a little thing. They go, got it. Okay. Because
Right.
I mean, the Tesseract, anyone seems to be able to pick up the Tesseract. Nick Fury can pick it up. But it does seem
The cat
weird.
ate it.
The cat, well, the cat's the Flurkin.
Flurkin.
Pretty dense. I also thought Captain Marvel was used very well in the movie. She wasn't overbearing for a new character, like somebody who's like. I got the feeling she was gonna be very front and center in an Avengers movie, and she was
She
not.
showed up at the front and at the back end.
Very
So there was a
well used.
weird moment where, they have the gauntlet and they're like trying to get it through, and they give it to Captain Marvel, and I forget who it is. So, I think Peter Parker asks like, "How's she gonna get it through?" And they're like, "Don't worry, she's got help." And like all the
As
the
if
female
she
characters,
fucking needs help.
And I was like, she just flew through a giant spaceship and like destroyed it.
Oh,
like,
but that was a cool scene though.
Right,
the
but-
gold power scene.
Oh no, it was really cool.
it was really
but-
cool. But if anyone doesn't need the help, it's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's that probably the one Avenger who needs no help,
Right.
and maybe like Vision. But well,
Cute consistency though in that,
Never mind.
even in that scene where Peter Parker's like in the crater holding the gauntlet.
yeah.
Is whenever he meets somebody, he introduces himself. I'm Peter Parker. And He goes, hey there, Peter Parker. Because like he does that with everybody. It's like, hey, I'm Peter Parker. He goes, I'm Doctor Strange. You know, like that.
Oh,
whole
yeah,
thing.
that's a really
It's a running bit that he has where he introduces himself.
I like
Who
that.
do you think is the strongest?
Who's what?
The strongest.
It's
Out of all of them?
Captain
Yeah.
Marvel.
I mean, it's got to be Captain Marvel.
Who's the strongest? Yeah, I guess so. There's something special about Captain America though. Like
Yeah.
that's unquantifiable with the whole thing with Mjolnir and stuff. It's just like,
I think he became my favorite Avenger in this movie.
yeah, he's such a hokey kind of like kind of old school
yeah, he's
character.
he's so
Great.
square in like the
Yeah.
early movies,
I
and he
love
really
it.
grew.
So many of the characters are really boring. I feel like Thor is like in theory a really boring character who's actually one of the best because he's like
The,
He was
the
super
comedic,
boring at first.
yeah.
yeah.
It took him a while. It took him a few movies to come
They
around.
gave him a lot of really good comedic.
Yeah.
elements,
Ragnarok,
yeah.
like I think it was probably one of the first Avengers movies, maybe the second one when he started to flex as a funny character. And man, obviously in this one he was over the top funny. Well, it's really badass. That early in the movie that shocked me was when Captain Marvel is talking about well, you didn't have me when they went to go fight Thanos, and Thor gets up and he hasn't said anything at all the whole time. And he gets up and he walks over to her and he like holds his hand out and Stormbreaker comes in. That fucking thing is huge, dude. I had no idea it was that big. Like even seeing Groot interact with it and everything. But when he's like holding it there right next to both of them, like, God damn, that thing's gigantic.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand how she couldn't be stronger against Thanos.
Yeah,
I
she
don't-
kind of struggled.
Yeah, she struggled against him a little bit. And then he did the thing where he punched her and she didn't flinch. And that was really cool. But I was like, why did she get so affected by him?
He did have the gauntlet at that point.
Did he?
Yeah,
he was. He was trying to get it
did the
because he was
thing-
about to snap and she
Right.
stopped
Oh,
it.
right.
Yeah, she stopped the snap, and then he took the power stone off of the ring and held it in this hand and punched her with it. That was fucking badass.
That was very cool.
And that was like the only demonstration in this movie I felt like that showed how powerful an individual stone is. I think once they got the gauntlet together and it became the wish machine, that the power of the stones really didn't become important, like why they could grab them and stuff like that. But they're individually so incredibly powerful. I almost wish in that that running with the football scene where they got a gauntlet, they're passing it off to Black Panther and to Captain Marvel and everything, and they're all tossing it around. I almost wish the stones had been split up at that point and that individually people were using the different stones. But any one of them, the power stone destroys entire planets. They touch to the ground. That was whole Ronan the Accuser and Guardians.
Right.
If he touched it to the ground, it was going to destroy all of Xandar.
Which got destroyed off camera
Off-
anyway. like as a footnote. Oh yeah, they blew up Xandar 3 days ago.
Last week. Yeah.
What?
It's literally like, we started to
Is
destroy...
John C. Riley okay?
Yeah. And his family and everything.
Yeah, like that was the whole point of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Did Xandar come back? That's an interesting question to ask.
No, because they weren't
snapped.
It was just the snap.
So Xandar's still out of commission.
Right.
Christ. Wow, that sucks.
All
for
right.
them.
Well, it's about time to wrap this up.
I feel like there's so much more we could talk about.
Good
Oh,
talk.
4 hours. We could probably talk
I
about
think I'm
that.
gonna go watch it tonight.
I kind of want to see it again now.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching for 10 years if you've been here. If not, where have you been? We'll see you guys next week.
Smart Hulk is a poser.
It's the 10th anniversary of the Rooster Teeth podcast. We celebrated. If you like the podcast, you can watch more videos like it below. And you can also like this video and subscribe to get more videos like it. Not every video is going to be a 10th
Click
anniversary.
on my butt. Click on my butt.
If you click on Bernie's butt,
Wiggle,
you,
wiggle.
you put Ant-Man up there.
All class.
All right.